All right, folks, welcome once again as we're journeying once more into the time vortex for another Doctor Who table reading. We're going to jump right into our cast tonight. So let's introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I will be reading action description.
Hi, I'm Bridget, and I will be playing the Doctor.
Hi, I'm Mary, and I will be playing Missy.
Hi, I'm Jen. I'm playing Bill.
Hi, I'm Neshia. I'm playing Nardole.
I'm Logan, and I'm going to be reading for Razor. So, Nicole, take us away.
All right. Let me get it going. Doctor Who, Series 10, Episode 11. World Enough in Time. Exterior, snowy landscape day. Snow, Antarctica. Howling wind, snow blasting. We can barely hear the TARDIS materializing. We glimpse the flashing light. Then the whole police box revealed for a moment, then obscured by a gust of snow. Now the clatter of the door. When the gusting snow clears, we can see the Doctor slumped against the TARDIS. He looks weak, drained, but so grim, so determined. Obscured again by a gust of white. When it clears, the Doctor is on his knees in front of the TARDIS. He looks like he's about to topple over sideways. Another flurry of snow conceals him for a moment. And now he's standing, fists clenched at his sides, his head lowered, a man braced for attack. Then, so quietly,
No.
a sizzling sound through the howl of the wind. Now, a golden glow from both his balled fists, regeneration energy rising like steam. He raises his head slightly.
No.
His face starts to glow, to shimmer in a heat haze. Now he throws back his head and screams into the camera.
No!
Opening titles. Exterior, space, day 1, 10:30. We are tracking over the hull of an ancient spaceship, now pulling back from it. And the truth is slowly dawning. The spaceship is insanely huge. It's cylindrical, like a gigantic oil drum floating into space. Scarred and pitted and ancient, now cutting closer on some massive portholes, now looking through those portholes. And wow, contained inside the massive cylindrical ship, and we see landscapes contained inside this gargantuan vessel, but tilted over on their sides. First, we see farmland, trees and meadows and rivers, all on their sides. The ground, ornating to the rear of the ship, the sky to the front. Now a different floor of the ship. We're drifting past a cityscape again on its side, cutting wider on the ship. As we circle round, the huge circular stern hubs into the view, and now from this angle we can see where the ship is pointing towards. A swirling vortex in space, darkness at its center, a black hole. We keep circling round the massive vessel, now tracking in on the front of the ship. There is a smallish circle extrusion in the center. Cutting closer on this, we see that it is circled by the portholes. This is, in fact, the bridge at the very top of the ship. All gleaming metal and monitors and consoles. Again, from our point of view, all on their side. We drift through one of the portholes. And like we're orientating to the internal gravity, we turn through 90 degrees. The floor now below us, the ceiling above us, and we hear the roar of the TARDIS engine. Cut to interior, spaceship bridge. The bridge is large, metallic, gleaming, industrial. Flickering monitors showing scenes from all over the giant ship. The oncoming storm of the TARDIS engine now filling the room. A security camera snaps around to look at it, a materializing TARDIS. On the TARDIS doors as they slam open and stepping out. Missy! She looks confident, dramatic, on top of her game. And she is wearing a spectacular hat. A slightly reluctant Bill. Nardole and Nardole are stepping out of the TARDIS. She looks straight at the security camera and gives it a little wave.
Hello, I'm Doctor Who.
Bill and Nardole take up positions either side of her, noticeably surely.
And these are my plucky assistants, Thing and other thing.
Bill and Nardole exchange glances, resign like they've been putting up with us for a while.
Bill, Nardole.
We picked up your distress call and we're here to help like awesome heroes.
And we're not assistants.
The lens dilates as if staring at Missy.
Well, what does he call you? Companions? Snacks? Pets?
A red light starts flashing, now an alarm.
Oh, someone's watching. It's got a good beat though, doesn't it?
Maybe we should be moving on.
He calls us friends.
Ew, Doctor, think of the age gap.
Cut to interior TARDIS. The doctor upstairs in the TARDIS. He's got his feet on his desk and is watching what's happening on the monitors while eating a bag of crisps.
Stop mucking about and concentrate. Nardole, do something non-irritating.
On it.
We now intercut with the doctor as required. Cut to interior spaceship bridge. Nardole dashing off to one of the consoles.
Time Lords are friends with each other, dear. Everything else is cradle snatching.
It's a big one.
On a screen, a seismic of the giant drum-shaped ship.
She reads as 400 miles long and 100 miles wide.
Big, even for a colony ship.
Cylindrical, artificial gravity, orientates cross-sectionally at right angles to the axis and downwards from here. So functionally, this is both the top and the, what do you call the pointy bit at the front of a spaceship?
Aerodynamically unnecessary. Anything else?
Nardole checking more of the instruments, then glancing up.
Oh, look at that.
And they all look up, finally seeing the huge window in the ceiling and the swirling vortex of black hole.
Finally! It's like watching plants grow.
This ship, it's heading towards a black hole.
No,
It isn't.
It was headed towards a black hole, but somebody noticed. Now it's trying to reverse away from it. All the engines are reverse thrust. See?
It's succeeding.
Very, very slowly.
Explains the distress call, I guess.
So, a 400-mile ship trying to reverse out of the gravitational attraction of a black hole. Are we having fun yet?
The alarm snaps off and the black hole on the screen is replaced by a face, a handsome but rather crazed-looking man. This is Jorj. The picture is grainy, monochrome.
Hello? Who's there? Hello? Please report status.
Oh, look at this one. You're probably handsome, aren't you? Congratulations on your relative symmetry.
Who are you?
Well, I'm that mysterious adventurer in time and space known only as Doctor Who. And these are my disposable exposition and comic relief.
We're not functions.
Darling, those were genders.
Stay exactly where you are for your own safety.
Oh, he likes me. How exciting.
I'm coming through.
Hurry, my stallion. If I'm in the shower, bring me some beans on toast. That's roughly human flirting, isn't it?
Why do you keep calling yourself Doctor Who?
Because I'm pretending to be him. That's the whole point of this ridiculous exercise?
It's not an exercise, it's a test.
Are you eating?
No.
Do not test me eating crisps.
But he's called the doctor.
He says, I'm the doctor. They say, Doctor Who. I'm cutting to the chase. Streamlining, baby. This is going to save actual minutes.
Okay, whatever.
Also, it's his real name.
It's what?
Look at my screens.
Oh, slow today, Missy.
All of the screens have been angled towards a single viewpoint, but not originally. They've all been moved.
Which means...
Giant ship, single pilot, not designed that way. So something happened to the others.
And it's time you found that out.
Suddenly, zip, 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 and all the other cameras on the bridge have spun to look at the trio.
Oh, someone else has noticed us.
What do you mean it's his real name? Nobody knows the doctor's real name.
I do. I grew up with him. It's his real name, Doctor Who.
Bill, she's just trying to wind you up.
Chose it himself. Wanted to sound mysterious. He dropped the Who after a while, then he noticed it was a tiny bit on the nose.
Stop teasing her and focus.
But is it true, Doctor? Is your real name Doctor Who?
A clatter. Jorj is standing in the doorway, covering them with a gun. In person and in color, we see that he has blue skin, and he is incredibly agitated.
Oh, you're blue. Nice. I should go back to blue. Please, nobody move.
Dear me, I thought you were handsome, and now you're all cross and pointing a gun at me. This is the emotion you humans call spanking?
Are there only 3 of you? Are any of you human?
What's happened to this ship? How long have you been alone here?
2 days. Are you human?
Oh, don't be a bitch.
Jorj has dashed the console, working frantically.
How did you get on board? Is that your capital?
Yes.
No.
Look, there. Look.
The schematic of the ship back on the monitor, now 3 dots of light rapidly ascending from different levels in the ship below.
3
At
of
first,
them.
they travel almost insanely fast.
3 of them. 3 of what? What's in this ship?
Missy looking fascinated at the points of light speeding up on the ship.
Still, super fast. Inertia, lifts. That's nice.
What's inside them? What's coming up here? The ship is full of things. I don't even know where they come from.
Jorj has turned on the others, his gun raised again, shaking in his hands.
One of you must be human. They only come up here if they detect human life signs.
Why? What for?
They take them. They take them away. Please, which of you is human? Okay, so these are the lift doors. Yeah, this is where they'll come out.
Nardole has gone to where there are 3 sets of lift doors arranged on the wall, next to each panel with an indicator of the ascending lift.
Please, which of you is human?
In the TARDIS, the doctor scrambling to his feet.
I'll be right with you.
Oi! Stay in your TARDIS, Doctor Who!
Me?
They look in surprise at Bill, who has stepped forward.
I'm human.
They all look at her.
I'm the only one. Just me.
The doctor, now bursting out of the TARDIS.
Stop. Stop right there now.
Oh, you see? Daddy can't let us play.
And he raises his gun, points it directly at Bill. He's desperate, practically in tears.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're the reason they're coming.
So you're going to turn off my life signs by killing me, right?
Put it down. Put it down now.
They won't come if she's dead.
You don't have to do this. I can get her off this ship. I can shield her life signs.
Bill, taking another nervous step back from the unwavering gun.
You know what, Doctor? I said this was a bad idea.
The doctor stepping forward at his most commanding and hypnotic.
Please, listen to me. Look at me. Go on. Look at me.
Jorj looks to the doctor.
That's good. That's very good. You see that mad woman over there? Her name isn't Doctor Who. My name's Doctor Who.
It's not really, is it?
I like it. You don't know it yet, but in a very short time, you're going to trust me with your life. And when I save you and everyone on this ship, one day you will look back and wonder who I was and why I...
A loud chime as one of the lifts arrive, and blam! Like a reflex, Jorj has fired the gun. We hold on the gun for a moment, a ringing, terrible silence. Everyone staring at Bill, close on her face, startled, as if slightly confused, puzzled. She looks down. Panning down to her, there is a huge, blackened scorch mark on the center of her chest. And in the center of that scorch mark, a ragged hole. Horrifyingly, we can see right through it, and the screen whites out. In the whiteness.
Doctor, this is a really bad idea.
Exterior University. The doctor and Bill walking through the campus together.
No, it's a good idea. A test run. She thinks she can be me? Let's try her out.
Why?
Why not?
No, why?
Interior, the university. Bill and the doctor walking and talking head through the university. Bill is munching on some bacon sarnie.
She got us home from Mars.
She's a murderer.
Enjoying your bacon sandwich?
Why?
Because it has a mummy and a daddy. Go tell a pig about your moral high ground.
Jewish. Why do you want to do this?
Because I think she does. I think Missy is trying to change. Who would I be if I didn't try to help her?
Interior canteen kitchen. Different day, same conversation. Bill is preparing the chips for later. The doctor is following her around, not giving up.
I choose the scenario. We pop her down inside it and see how she does.
How does that work?
Go for a spin in the TARDIS, graze for distress calls, and pick a good one. Our usual Saturday.
And what if she just walks out and slaughters everyone just for a laugh?
I'll be monitoring you the whole time.
Me?
You and Nardole. You can be your companions.
Oh, forget it. Absolutely no way.
Nardole agreed.
No, I didn't.
We now see Nardole over in the corner. He appears to be going through scraps.
You did in my head, that's good enough for me.
Why do you want to do this?
She's my friend. She's my oldest friend in the universe.
Bill, looking at him shrewdly, takes a step closer to him, studying his face, trying to understand him.
You've got lots of friends. Better ones. What's so special about her?
She's different.
Different how?
I don't know.
Bollocks. Yes, you do.
The doctor, a beat, considers. Then, total sincerity.
She's the only person I've ever met who's even remotely like me.
So more than anything, you want her to be good?
The doctor, not quite meeting her eye, gives us a little nod. Nardole studying him, fascinated.
Are you having an emotion?
I know I can help her.
Look at his face. He's having an emotion. Look at that bit there. He's showing emotions.
Leave him alone.
Can I take a selfie with you?
Exterior University. Bill and the doctor on a bench looking up at the stars. They're eating doner kebabs. Dinner.
Always so brilliant. From the first day at the academy. So fast, so funny. She was my man crush.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I think she was a man back then. Fairly sure I was too. But it was a long time ago.
So, Time Lords. Bit flexible on the whole man-woman thing, yeah?
We are the most civilized civilization in the universe. We are billions of years beyond your petty human obsession with gender and its associated stereotypes.
But you still call yourself Time Lords.
Shut up.
Okay.
We had a pact, him and me. Every star in the universe. We were going to see them all. But he was so busy burning them, I don't think she ever saw anything.
And you think if she did, she'd change?
I know she would. I know.
Bill stares at him, moved, then gives a little laugh.
You're a bloody idiot. You know that, right?
Of course.
They eat in silence for a moment.
She scares me. She really scares me. So promise me one thing.
Bill looks at him hard for a moment, and when she speaks, she is agreeing to this whole mad enterprise.
Promise you won't get me killed.
Interior spaceship bridge. Back to the exact moment we left. Bill standing there, the hole punched through her, but still, horribly, she's just standing there. Her terrified eyes find the doctor's. They stare at each other, a moment of desperate horror.
I'm sorry. It was too late. They're here. It was too damn late anyway. I didn't mean to.
Exterior University. Back to the park bench. Bill has just asked the doctor her question. The doctor gives that teasing grin. Tension breaker.
Oh, well, I can't promise that. Be reasonable.
Thanks.
I mean, human beings. You're so mortal.
Cheers.
You pop like balloons.
Interior spaceship bridge. On Bill. As she just pitches backward, crashes to the floor. Her eyes glaze, the spark dying, lifeless now. Cut to Exterior University. On the doctor and Bill, still teasing each other as they talk and laugh, we pull away back from them like we're saying goodbye, like this is their last happy conversation they're ever gonna have.
I mean, one heart, your most important organ, and you don't even have a backup. It's like a budget cut.
But you'll try and keep me alive, yeah?
Within reason.
Thanks, mate.
Interior spaceship bridge. The doctor, now kneeling by Bill, no life signs, nothing.
Missy, don't speak.
I wasn't going to.
Now on the lift doors sliding open. They look up, revealed. The creature within is human-shaped. It stands twisted as if in terrible pain. Its entire head is covered in what first looks like a baklava with no hole for a face and tied in a rough knot at the top. Closer inspection, the material of the baklava is a sickly pale flesh, almost white, gleaming wetly. It is thinly seamed with what looks like veins, as if the material is fashioned out with the veiny white of an eyeball. Beneath this, facial features shift and move. It wears what could almost be a surgical gown. As it steps forward into the room, we realize it is pushing along a drip feed on a stand, much like you'd see in any hospital. Now the other two lifts have arrived. Two more of the creatures which we will call from now on the patients, step out again, pushing drip feeds.
What are they? What are those things?
Jorj is stepping forward, confronting the patients.
You're too late. She's dead.
The patients move slowly, positioning themselves around the fallen Bill.
Don't touch her. Don't you lay a finger on her.
The first patient turns to Jorj. With one eerily human hand, it touches the keypad on its drip feed, typing in something. A moment later, a Stephen Hawking type voice emits. Stand away.
Why? What for?
A patient hits a single button on the keyboard. Evidently, repeat. She will be repaired.
Repaired?
Stand away.
You can help her. Is that what you mean?
A clattering sound. Two larger lift doors are now rolling open. They reveal a larger lift, this one containing a grotesque parody of a surgical team, two patients with their drip feeds, and a hospital trolley bed between them. They move into the room, rolling the bed next to Bill.
So, any clue? What are these things?
Two of the patients, now lifting Bill on the trolley bed. On the doctor, shakes his head. No idea. Bill being rolled onto her bed into the larger lift. The doctor moves to follow. The lead patient turns to face him, blocking his path.
Where are you going? What are you going to do with her?
The patient types on the keypad. Repair.
Don't argue with them. They'll snap you in half.
When do you bring her back?
The other patients are heading back to their lifts. We will not.
We can't let them take her.
We can't stop them either.
Correct. The doors on all the lifts roll shut. The lifts start descending. Instantly, the doctor has closed his eyes, pressed his fingers to his temples. He now speaks in a low, urgent whisper.
Wait for me.
What are you doing?
Leaving a message in her subconscious.
Oh, she's dead.
He swings round for Jorj.
Those things are going to repair her, which clearly means she isn't.
Missy has gone to one of the other doors. Seems to be sonicking with her brawly. She now has a rapid fire exchange with the doctor.
Assumption.
Deduction.
Hope.
Faith.
Idiot.
Always.
The doctor is at the lift, sonicking away. Jorj, stepping forward, now rams the gun against the doctor's back.
Sir, step away from those doors. You'll bring them back.
Oh, what do you care? They're not even interested in you.
Sir, I swear to you, if you don't step away from that lift, I will kill you.
Don't. You'll only make me angry.
Honey, listen to him.
Why?
Because if someone killed you and it's not me, we'll both be disappointed.
The doctor, controlling his anger, his panic.
Now you, what were those things?
I don't know.
How can you not know? They're on your ship.
This ship is supposed to be empty, but it's a colony ship. Yes, but it's brand new. The colonists aren't here yet. We were on our way to pick them up. There was a skeleton crew, 50 of us. That's all.
Nardole at the console, tapping away. The schematic of the ship lights light up with thousands of glowing dots all over it.
It's not empty now. Thousands of life readings. 2 days ago, there was nothing. Those readings came out of nowhere.
Well, obviously you aborted.
No.
Your ship was taken over. It happens.
No.
Suddenly, the doctor is thinking hard, fierce, with an idea.
Doctor?
This is worse than I thought. Much worse.
Well, someone boarded this ship. That's fairly bad.
Nothing boarded this ship. Nothing at all.
Nardole gestures at the blazing spread of life signs on the ship schematic.
Begging to differ?
The doctor spins around to Jorj, points an accusing finger at him.
50 of you. Taking your brand new ship fresh from the factory to pick up some colonists.
Well, yes.
2 days ago, you nearly bumped into a black hole. What did you do then?
We tried to reverse out of it.
And you sent a team down to the other end of the ship to reverse the rear thrusters, yes?
Well, yes.
How many people were in the team?
About 20.
You sent 20 of your crew down there. You never heard from them again, correct?
Well, yes.
And then the whole ship lit up with brand new life forms, correct?
Exactly. How did you know?
I'm clever. What happened then?
Those creatures appeared, took the rest of the humans away. They weren't interested in me. We tried to fight them. They were so strong. Doctor, maybe something came out of the black hole?
Nothing comes out of a black hole.
And nothing boarded this ship. But I'm afraid you're never going to see your crew again.
Why? What happened to them?
Pay attention.
The doctor has marched over to a wall. He pulls the end from his sonic screwdriver, now revealing that it also functions as a marker pen. He starts drawing on the wall these cylindrical spaceship.
Your crew are dead. They've all been dead for a very, very long time.
On Missy, getting it.
Oh, I see. Of course.
Nardole, the same, looks to the black hole visible on one of the screens.
Oh. But I saw them 2 days ago.
2 days from your viewpoint?
From theirs, they've been dead for centuries.
He's finished his drawing of the ship, now has sketched in the black hole.
Black hole, 400-mile spaceship. It's a matter of time.
Interior operating theater, a blazing white room. On a pair of clocks, they show different times. One says 10:45, the other says 12:30. The first of these, 10:45, is frozen. The other ticks away at a normal rate. Under the first clock, it reads day 2. Under the second, it reads day 365034. Painting across to Bill. We're close on her face, but she's clearly lying on an operating table, unconscious but breathing, alive. Now, close on her eyes as they flicker open. Bill's point of view, focus resolving on a man looking down at her. This is the surgeon, sleek, slightly cold looking, confident. Behind him, a light blaze.
Hello, back with us?
Bill, blinking in confusion. Where?
No, don't try to speak. Just relax. You'll be fine.
Bill, her eyes flickering wildly around the room. Where? Where?
Full conversation wasn't necessary, though it will be in time. Sleep now.
He reaches over and seems to fiddle with something on her chest. A click, like he's thrown on a switch. Bill's eyes flicker shut. Interior bridge, day 1. The doctor, exactly as we left him, explaining in front of his drawing.
Short version, because of the black hole, time is moving much faster at this end of the ship than this end.
Interior ward, again on a pair of clocks, but this time in a different, darker room. The day 2 clock still reads 10:45. The other clock is now day 365035 and 23:30. We pan to Bill, asleep, different room, quieter, darker, like it's night mode. Panning round, a drip feed stands next to her. The ward, white tiled, slightly worn, and dilapidated, like our movie notion of the Victorian asylum. Medical equipment all around the room. A strange mix, some very sophisticated, some all brass and wood. A recovery ward? On Bill, a shadow passes over her. Someone has come into the room. On Bill, close on Bill's eyes. As if in response, they flicker open. Bill's point of view focusing on a man staring right at her, bright-eyed, but his face a mass of scars. Long, matted hair, scrubby beard. Looks a little like yogurt. Oh, Igor from the old Frankenstein movie. This is Razor. His voice, when it comes, his fast mutter and his broken accent sounds mid-European.
Oh, awake? Is it awake now? Good. Settle. Sleep.
On Bill's face, alarm. What? What? What the hell is going on here? But Razor has already darted away. Bill passes out again. In the blackness, we hear the strange, hawking-like voice of a patient in the same words distantly heard over and over again. Pain. 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 Interior, ward. Bill steering awake in her bed again. As she comes round, she hears the voice. Pain. 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 The voice is coming from another room, but not too far away. The word repeats at intervals of a few seconds. Eerie. In the ticking silence of the hospital. Bill, more alert than last time, struggling to sit up. A memory flash. Bill on the bridge standing there with a charred blackened hole punched right through her. Her hand flatters to her chest and encounters machinery. Under the fabric of her surgical gown, there seems to be some sort of fairly bulky chest unit. She feels all around of it, front, back. It's like a part of her. What? She looks up again and startles. Standing at the end of the bed, the doctor, staring at her with the maximum intensity.
Doctor!
Wait for me.
She blinks, and he's gone. What was that? A dream? A mirage? Now her attention is caught by the voice again. Pain. 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 She looks towards the door. It's open, gives way to the corridor. Pain. 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 Bill, looking around, where the hell is she and how can she be alive? She considers, checks herself again. Nothing's keeping her in this bed. There are no restraints. Carefully, gingerly, she pushes back the bedclothes, swings her bare feet round to the floor. She's still attached to the drip feed, but the stand is mounted on casters. She takes a hold of the stand, uses it as support. Now, clearly weak, she levers herself to her feet. Pain, pain, pain. Takes a breath, wobbly legs, but basically okay. A step forward, another. Then one of the casters on her drip feed stand squeaks. Looking around the room, trying to make sense of it. A hospital? What hospital? Where? She sees two clocks, similar to the one we saw in the operating theater. The day 2 clock still reads 10:45. The other clock is now day 365036 and 0023. Bill frowns. What's that about? Now she moves towards the door. Pain, pain, pain. Cut 2. Interior, hospital corridor. Bill squeaks her way out into a cavernous corridor, lofty ceiling, disappearing into the shadow. Cracked white tiles on the wall. Tall doorways, all leading off into the flickering gloom. Pain, pain, pain. On the wall at the end, a pair of tall doors, the lettering on them reads, Conversion Theater. There is a red light burning above the door. And from inside, we just hear a high-pitched whining sound. And is that sobbing? Bill's hand flatters to the chest unit beneath her clothes. What goes on in there? Abruptly, the sobbing stops, but the whine continues. She shudders, and then that voice again. Pain, pain, pain. Bill looks around, trying to locate where the voice is coming from, which doorway. A door stands slightly open to her. Lettered on the door is the word in. She steps to the door, creaks it open. Cut to interior, long ward. A long, thin hospital ward in the traditional style. A window at the far end, rows of bed and drip feeds along each wall, sleeping forms. The tick and drip and hum of medical technology. But the pain isn't coming from here. She steps back into the corridor. Cut to interior hospital corridor. There is another ward door opposite one that she just exited, so that the two flank the conversion theater doors. This door also stands a little open and is labeled out. The pain seems to be coming from there. Bill looks along the signs. In, conversion, out. Interesting. She steps towards the door, pushes it open. Cut to interior, long ward, out. Again, a long, narrow room, like a traditional hospital ward, almost in darkness. But along the walls, instead of beds, there are wheelchairs, 6 along each side. A couple sit empty. Sitting in each one of the other wheelchairs is a patient. Pain. Next to each patient is a drip feed. The glowing bag on each drip feed is the only light in the room, except for there are French doors at the other end of the ward. Looking out onto what? We can see the glow of many lights. A city. Pain. Bill looks round, focusing on the voice. It's coming from one of the patients, the one sitting closest to the window. She moves close to this one. As she approaches it, it seems to notice, raises its slumped head. That faceless face seems to stare at her. She peers at it in horror. Are there human features muffled under that sickly white covering? One human hand is gripped tight on what seems to be a controlled unit attached to the drip feed. Pain. The voice is coming from the control unit attached to the drip feed, as with the patients we saw on the bridge. And the hand on the control unit clenches in time with pain. Bill, now looking from her drip feed to the patient, the same, identical. On the patient's chest, under the surgical gown, there seems to be a bulky unit. Bill's hand goes to the unit on her own chest. The same. Now the patient is reaching out its other hand as if in appeal. Help me, please, help me. Bill falters back a step, unnerved. The patient, now cocking its head, questioning, pleading. The face under the covering moves, like it's stretching its mouth wide in a silent scream. Now a noise from the corridor, thumping footsteps, a strident voice. Who's making that noise? Who is it? Bill looks around in fright. Shadows flapping in the corridor outside. Someone striding in the room. Bill looks around, nowhere to hide except the long curtain hanging on the window. Barely enough space to hide, but there's nowhere else. She moves to slip behind the curtain, forgetting for a moment she's still tethered to her drip feed. There isn't room for both. Not time. She slips behind the curtain, Leamith and drip feed standing next to her, quite visible, gambling that it won't be noticed. Behind the curtain with Bill, we hear a pair of feet come thumping into the room. Right. What's the matter with you, making all the fuss? Let's see now. Bill, curious, risks a peek out. A nurse adjusting a control on the patient's drip feed. The patient falls silent. There. That's better, isn't it? The nurse has her back to Bill, so Bill can risk craning a little further out to see what's happening. And oops, she finds herself meeting the gaze of Razor, the little man she first saw when she woke. He stands on the other side of the patient and is so facing Bill's way. Bill freezes. Oh, what now? But Razor gives a little flick of his eye, indicating that Bill should conceal herself again. An ally? Bill ducks behind the curtain. Right. Then Mr. Razor might as well do the rounds now that I'm here.
Yes, it is. Rounds, yes.
We hear the two of them heading away, the nurse thumping along, Razor scampering behind. Bill lets them go, then slowly emerges. Curious, she steps closer to the patient. What was that dial on the drip feed that the nurse just adjusted? The volume is turned to 0 and is clearly marked volume. What? Bill tentatively turns the dial and the voice resumes, but quieter. Pain, pain, pain. The patient has turned its head toward Bill, again as if pleading.
Sorry, mate. Really, really sorry.
She turns the dial back to 0, looks around to the others, crosses the room to the patient opposite. It is slumped seemingly asleep, its head hanging slackly. She checks the volume control. Yep, it's at 0. A glance round, she turns it up slightly. That same computer voice insinuating from the drip feed unit.
Kill
me.
Go for it. Say it.
Kill me. Kill me.
Bill's face. Oh, God. She turns the dial down again.
Sorry.
She looks around. This is awful. These creatures are in terrible pain, and their cries are simply being silenced. Where to go now? Looks to the corridor. Safe out there yet? Can she risk it? She hears the thumping footsteps of the nurse, the scurrying feet of Mr. Razor. This way, Mr. Razor, sharp, now. During this, beyond Bill, unseen by her, we see the patient, the kill me one, raising its head as if to look at her. Bill, hesitating, looks back at the windows. Now she goes to have a proper look out at them. As she clears the frame, we hold on the kill me patient, who turns its head as if to watch her go. Slowly, it starts to heave itself to its feet. On Bill, stepping to the window, looking out on this strange world. Bill's point of view, through the glass, we see a sprawling city, dilapidated, all brutalist, apartment blocks and walkways, gray and shiver making like East Berlin. Then she looks up, and it's even stranger. In place of the sky, there is a massive circular roof, all iron and rivets, and painted in a huge flacking numerals across it is the number 1056. She looks around again. There is no horizon. This world is encircled by an iron wall of the same style and appearance as the massive ceiling. In fact, we are in the bottom circular slice of the giant cylindrical spaceship, 100 miles in diameter, 2,000 feet high, and crammed with the grimmest, grayest city you have ever seen. On Bill's face, staring at this. And behind her, we see the patient moving towards her, reaching out its hands as if to attack. At the last moment, Bill senses the movement behind her, spins to look, and the patient is looming over her. Before she can scream, whack! The patient crashes to the floor, revealing Mr. Razor right behind it. A caution hand. Bill stares at him. Mr. Razor just smiles, a feral smile.
Would you like some tea?
Interior, corridor. Mr. Razor now leading Bill out of the long ward.
This way, this way.
Bill looks worriedly back into the room.
What about him?
He's all right. They don't feel pain.
I think they do.
Yes, they do.
So why did you say they didn't?
It was a clever lie, but you saw right straight through it. This way, tea.
What are those things?
People, they're people.
What are you doing to them?
Curing them.
He darts into a room. Clearing frame, he reveals the door to the operating theater. It stands open. Beyond it, we can see a bright room, white tiles and steel. And there's the surgeon, gowned, masked, and ready. He glances at Bill, sees that she's looking at him. He gives a brisk nod to someone off screen, and the door closes. The red light above, it comes on. Razor pops his head out of the other room.
In here. In here.
Reluctantly, Bill follows him. Cut to interior, Razor's nest. An absolute jumbled mess, more like a nest than an office. Everything of every kind is in here, in tottering piles, boxes and televisions and stacked chairs, and an old gramophone, huge towers of books and magazines, a lot of what looks like a cannibalized technology fastened in cables and wires. Bill now making her way through a maze of stacked books and newspapers, and Razor appears around the corner right in front of her.
Do you want the good tea or the bad tea?
What's the difference?
I call one good, I call one bad.
Well, I mean, it's fair. I'll have the good one.
Excellent positive attitude. Will help with the horror to come.
What horror?
Mainly the tea.
He darts off again. Cautiously, Bill follows, finds herself in a clearing in the middle of this surreal junk room. There's a little table and a chair and a television set. Razor is in the act of boiling a kettle on an improvised countertop. As Bill looks around, we home in on one television and see what she doesn't notice yet. The hazy monochrome picture appears to be a freeze frame of the doctor and the others on the bridge. The doctor is exactly as we left him, drawing the diagram on the wall.
Where am I?
Hospital.
Yes, but where?
The ship. You are on the ship.
I was on a ship. Yeah, but it wasn't like this.
You are at top. Now, bottom.
He's picked up a can of beans to demonstrate.
See? Ship. Top. Bottom. See? Yes.
How did I get here?
You were sick, very sick, hard, broken. Do hard? Good, is it?
Bill taps the mechanical apparatus under her gown.
Haven't dared look yet.
It's good, very good. Shiny. You carry it off. Not everyone can. Some people, it all goes a bit,
What?
vending machine.
He sets a cup of tea down for her.
Drink it while it's very hot. The pain will disguise the taste.
Thanks. How long have I been here?
Oh, weeks. Many weeks. Maybe months.
Oh my God.
It's good. You get strong.
But I came here with people, my friends. They'll be worried about me.
They don't look so bad.
He gestures vaguely at the TV screen, and Bill, for the first time, notices the frozen image.
That's them. That's my friends.
I know. I make pictures for you. You like?
But where are they now? Are they okay?
Look at them. They're fine.
But are they okay now?
That is now. That is right now. That is them. He's live.
But the picture, it's frozen.
No.
Yes. Look at them. They're not moving.
They are at top of ship. Top of ship, slow. We are at bottom. Much faster. Very fast bottom. Sounds a bit rude.
I don't understand.
Ah, you don't know then.
About what?
We cut closer on the frozen image of the doctor. Abruptly, the picture springs into color and comes alive, and we realize we are back now in Cut to interior bridge. The doctor resuming exactly where he left off.
It's all about gravity. Gravity slows down time. More gravity, less time. The closer you are to the source of the gravity, the slower time will move. If you're standing in your garden, your head is traveling faster through time than your feet. If you go upstairs, you're traveling faster through time than everybody downstairs. But don't get excited. The effect is tiny. You'll never notice it. Don't they teach this at space school?
The picture freezes, becomes grainy monochrome again.
He's being sarcastic.
Interior, Razor's Nest, 1 week since night 4. Bill crouched at the television, examining the doctor's face. Clearly some time has passed, possibly weeks. The drip feed is gone, and she is now dressed normally. Not the clothes she arrived in, clothes consistent with her new world, rough and ready, not at all spacey, very ordinary.
See, he's raising that eyebrow. That's his sarcasm look. He's making a joke.
Behind her, Razor's reading a book, sipping his tea.
He's been raising that eyebrow for a week.
So when are you going to tell me
Tell you what,
how I get back up there?
I already told you. You can't leave here. I'm sorry.
What are you doing in here? Bill spins. The nurse is in the doorway, arms tightly folded,
She works for
scouring
me.
at her.
She works for me now. We agreed.
Everyone here works for me. Floor out there needs cleaning.
Running all the way.
As she moves past the nurse. I know you dream of leaving.
No, not me. Ever.
The nurse taps Bill's metal chest unit. This is your heart now. Outside of this hospital, it's gonna stop working.
I'm not lying to you, Bill. It's just true. If you die again, they can't bring you back.
Bill's looking at them like she doesn't quite believe them.
Well, thank goodness you've got all those locks in case I accidentally wander off, eh? Better I go get to mopping. Don't change channel.
A week raising his eyebrow. Why would I change?
Razor and the nurse exchange a look. Bill just doesn't get it. Back to the frozen image, which switches back to color and comes to life. Cut to interior bridge. The exact moment we cut away. Jorj is now replying.
I'm basically the janitor.
That's the best job. You should concentrate more. Really, I'm the janitor of the universe, but that doesn't sound good when you're shouting it in combat. Now listen.
Picture freezes into monochrome again. Interior, Razor's Nest, 1 month since day 5. Back with Bill and Razor, different clothes, another day. Bill and Razor sitting together on the sofa, sipping tea, watching. Clearly, they're friends now.
Yes.
He's going to do an explanation. That always takes a while.
The months will fly by.
On the frozen monochrome, as the doctor reanimates into color, cut to interior bridge. The doctor exactly where he left off.
A black hole isn't any old gravity. It's Superman gravity. It's your mummy's soup gravity. It's the real thing, baby. You really want to slow down time? Park next to one of these guys.
Like you kind of did.
In cut to interior long ward night. 1 year since day 6. Patients sitting in their wheelchairs, a different selection in different chairs. Bill is dolefully mopping the floor. We continue to hear the doctor's voice.
Like you kind of did. Trouble is, one end of the ship is closer to the Superman gravity than the other.
Bill looks up and sees 2 clocks on the wall representing day 2 and day 3. 6, 5, 4, 3, 3.
So time is moving at different speeds from top to bottom.
As the doctor says top to bottom, we pan from day 2 clock to the day 365,433 clock. On Bill, studying the clocks for a moment. Then she is drawn to the window. She goes to it, looking out over the strange internal city under the round, still sky, longing to get out there. She tries the window. It's ever so slightly open. Unusual. She looks around, considers. She starts to lever the window open. What she doesn't see behind her, all the patients in unison turn to look at her. And now her chest unit starts beeping, a red light flashing through her clothes.
Warning, this cardiac unit will not function outside the confines of this hospital.
And now she sees all the patients staring at her. Carefully, she closes the window again. She gives up, turns back to her work. Then, in unison, all the patients turn to face the front again. She detenses. Okay. She looks back out of the window, and there he is again, the doctor, standing impossibly just outside the window, staring at her.
Wait for me.
She blinks and he's gone. She sighs and looks up. We angle up with her look to the steel sky, lit in the glow of the city below.
How much longer, Doctor? How many more years?
This colony ship is 400 miles long.
Cut to interior of the bridge. The doctor still explaining. He's now drawing a curving line through the spaceship, a graph of an exponential increase.
Or around 1,000 stories high, if you prefer. Assuming each survival chamber to be 2,000 feet tall, it's reversing away from the black hole, so the time slowing effect is increasing exponentially across the length or height of the ship.
In frustration, he steps forward, jamming his gun against the doctor.
I don't understand. I don't understand any of this.
Missy coughs politely.
Perhaps I can help.
Soothing, she takes Jorj's hand, leads him to the drawing.
Magic space hole. Make time pass quicker here. Then here, 2 days had passed at the front of the ship, thousands of years at the back.
I see.
Magic space hole?
But those life forms, where did they all come from? What are they?
Cut to interior Razor's Nest, 1 year since night 7. Bill standing at the door looking out at the corridor. One patient with its drip feed stands to the side of the operating theater door, as if it's on duty.
What kind of treatment is that? Don't you ever explain?
On Razor, working away at something. In the background, we can see a grainy monochrome image of the doctor, exactly as we last saw him.
I do explain. They are special patients.
So when do those bag things come off their heads?
They don't.
They don't?
Conversion is permanent.
Bill looks at him in horror. What?
Why?
We are dying. All of us on this ship, dying.
A noise from the corridor. The open to the operating theater door has opened. Okay. 3 new patients are shuffling out of the room, being led to one of the wards by the nurse and a couple of orderlies. These ones are slightly different. No drip feed now. A larger chest unit. And eerily, there are eye holes roughly cut through in the bag covering the head. Terrified, bloodshot eyes peer out.
They are the cure. They are the future.
Close on one of the patients, right on the eye holes. Tears are streaming from the bloodshot eyes, and those eyes now fix on Bill. Wider, it extends a pleading hand to Bill, and we hear the sing-song voice from the chest unit.
Die. Me. Die. Me.
The nurse reaches over, turns the dial on the chest unit down. The voice fades away. Bill staring in horror. Razor standing at her shoulder.
To survive, they are what we must become. I will show you.
Razor is pulling on a big coat now, handing another to Bill.
Where are we going?
Outside. You always want to go outside. Today, we go outside.
But this.
She indicates her chest unit. Razor taps it delicately through her clothes. A descending beat.
I turned off the warning system. Maybe you'll be fine. Maybe you're all better now.
He starts leading the way. Bill, bemused by the sudden change of heart. But as she starts to follow, she comes to a halt, standing at the end of the corridor. With that stare is the doctor.
Wait for me.
It takes a visible effort, but Bill follows after Razor, and the doctor vanishes. Cut 2. Exterior streets. The streets are as bleak and gray as they look from the window, as if the brutalist housing scheme has been transplanted into a giant spaceship. The dank fog hangs in the air. Closer, the city is a little brighter than the ruin. Families huddle at the windows, staring bleakly out. Everyone passes limping or white-faced or just visibly weak and starving.
Everyone looks so sick.
This was a good place once. Hundreds of years ago, when the settlers first came here. But the ship is old. Everything is dying. Our world is rust. Our air is engine fumes. We must evolve to survive. But evolution isn't fast enough.
As he says this, he's looking sadly across the street. A line of people are being marched along. They all clutch their belongings, carrying suitcases like refugees. At their head is the patient, leading the way, and 2 more herd them along from behind. Bill's eyes go to where they're headed. She looks back to the big, brutal gray building behind them, the word hospital lettered along the top.
The special patients are strong.
They're in pain.
The pain will be cured, and the exodus will begin.
He looks up to the steel ceiling.
Exodus?
Operation Exodus. We will leave this city, climb through this ship, and we will take command.
You could just go up right now.
We need to be
There
strong.
are lifts.
There are many dangers.
I've been up there. There's a friend of mine. He can help.
You do not know the dangers. Many years ago, there was an expedition to floor 507, the largest solar.
And?
Silence. They never returned.
His eyes raise to the steel sky.
Something is up there. And we must be strong.
As Bill looks up, she staggers, gasping for breath. Her knees are buckling.
I don't know what's...
Razor taps her chest unit again.
Warning, return to the hospital. Warning, return to the hospital.
You see, my dear, you must be strong to leave the hospital.
He starts helping her along back in the direction of the hospital.
You will be soon. Very soon.
We cut closer on the hospital. A pale face is watching them out of the window. It's a patient. This one has the eye holes, but also a slit cut for the mouth. It stares mournfully into the murk. Cut to interior, the bridge, exactly where we left them. Jorj staring in incomprehension at all the life signs dotted all over the ship.
How can there be so many?
There is one thing in this universe that human beings prize above all else. And clearly they've been doing it a lot. These are the descendants of your crewmates. 2 days for you, generations for them.
But how could they survive so long?
It's a colony ship. It's designed to support large populations.
Not for that amount of time.
Agreed. So what are they all now? All those people? What have they become to survive? Oh, and look at that.
Jorj looks, and the doctor, John, Pertwee style, grabs his arm, twists him round, and hurls him easily across the room.
Sorry, I was worried he might start talking again. Come on.
He starts leading the way to the lift.
That was good.
Venusian Aikido. Still got it.
I thought you needed 4 arms for the Venusian.
I have hidden talents, also hidden arms.
He's sonicking to the lift doors. The picture freezes, becomes monochrome. Cut to interior, Razor's Nest. 3 years since day 8. Jesus. Bill in night dress and dressing gown coming into the room, clearly from whatever functions as her bedroom, yawning, stretching. She glances blearily at the telly. It catches her attention. Oh, now Razor is bustling around the place, making breakfast for them both. On Bill, registering that the doctor is at the lift. He's coming. Finally, he's coming. A slow smile. Hope at last. Cut to interior bridge. On the lift doors, as before, the light is ascending, indicating the approach of the lift.
But it's been 10 minutes. She'll have been down there for years.
Possibly. I don't know what the differential is.
We could take the TARDIS, go back in time, get it right.
This close to the black hole, we'd never be able to pilot her accurately.
The lift chimes. The doors roll open.
Missy.
Come on, Doctor. Oh, enough chatting.
She springs into the lift. The other two follow. The doctor sonicking the controls. The door rolls shut.
But how long has she been waiting for us?
Not that long.
How do you know?
I don't. I hope. That's all we ever have, Nardole. Hope.
On Missy, looking at him. Curious. Possibly even moved. Cut to interior, Razor's Nest. 5 years since day 9. Bill sits, munching on a sandwich. She is looking at the telly. By now, she is noticeably older. Now on the screen, just the closed. Now on the screen, just the closed lift doors.
Doors! Weeks you're watching doors.
Do you think that they're coming down here? Because if they are they as bad as my crow's feet that apparently I've gained in the last 5 minutes? Because where does that lift arrive? Oh dear. Sorry, you read me for filth. Screen description.
Razor is bustling about, making a vain attempt to tidy his belongings. Now he looks at her alarm.
I'm just asking, that's all.
Razor comes over to her, very curious, takes her hand, grips them.
You are dear to me. You are my dearest person. You are like...
I know.
a mother to me.
Yep. Definitely not a mother.
Or an aunt.
Definitely. Oh, I thought you said a nun. Also not an aunt, but no.
But
No.
that question, you must not ask.
How long have I been here? And how long have we been friends?
I have cared for you.
And I will never not be grateful. In fact, I'd like to introduce you to my other best friend. He's the one with the eyebrows. But don't be scared.
I am scared. I am very scared. Do not ask me that question again.
Why not? You have a really terrible wig, but I mean,
Because if you do, I think I might answer it.
that's
She
fair.
looks at him, so fond, and hugs him hard.
I would hug you hard. Sorry, mate. Guess what? Guess what I'm about to do?
Do not do this.
I'm gonna ask you again.
On Razor, he sighs.
When you hug me, it hurts my heart.
She smiles.
It's the best hug ever. Oh, sweet.
Parting from her, he taps the metal unit around her chest.
No, it's your chest unit. It digs right in.
Cut to interior hospital corridor, the darkened hospital in night mode. On the red light above the operating theater door, it goes out. A moment later, an orderly appears out of the door. A yawn, a stretch, long day. With a big jingling set of keys, he locks the operating theater. Heads way, the footsteps recede into the distance. A silence. Mr. Razor's head pops round the doorway of his room. He wears a traditional burglar's mask. Then Bill pops round. They speak in whispers.
Sure about the mask?
It's burgling mask.
Why?
Just in case.
In case of what?
Shh.
They slip into the corridor. They slip along the corridor to the door to the operating theater. As they approach it,
We saw him walk up.
Razor produces a key with a flourish.
Where'd you get that?
I have burglary skills. They don't just let anyone wear a mask like this, you know.
Well, I mean, okay, Liam Neeson. It's got his name on the label. Also yours.
Also, I have my own key to the operating theater. I clean up on Wednesdays.
As Bill grins, amused, Razor is busy at the door. Now it's swinging open. Cut to interior operating theater. A circular chamber, currently in darkness. A steel operating table in the center masses of the equipment, like a glittering high-tech torture chamber. Bill has pulled a torch from her clothes, flashes it around. A big shock. From the circle of torch beam, the staring face of a patient, she staggers back, almost colliding with Razor.
He's all right. He's all right.
He takes the torch from Bill, flashes it around the room. There are 4 patients in the room, each seated in a wheelchair at the compass points of the room.
Just, you know, work in progress.
Bill looks at them in horror. They seem drugged and lolling. Again, these ones are slightly different. The eye holes are more finessed, as are the mouth slits. One of them wears a sort of silver skull cap concealing the patient.
So, the lift, where do we find it?
Oh, through there somewhere. Oh, I like the head. I'm going to ask for a head when it's my turn.
Your turn?
No, actually.
And then the lights slam on. And there's the surgeon and the nurse standing patiently against the wall where they've been waiting.
I'm afraid, Miss Potts, it's your turn.
Bill's staring in horror. What? What? One of the patient rises and stands blocking the path to the door. 2 of the others stride over to Bill, taking her by the arms, holding her in place.
Thank you for bringing her, Mr. Razor.
You see through my clever disguise. Ding.
Bill staring at him in horror. The betrayal.
You didn't. Please tell me you didn't.
It's for your own good. Make you strong. Ready for the exodus.
Sorry about the deception. It's best to get people in here without them knowing why. We don't want screaming in the main part of the hospital.
Don't you touch me. Don't you fucking touch me. Don't you lay a finger on me. Sorry. F-bomb.
The surgeon just smiles pleasantly, steps closer to her, taps the unit under her clothes.
This unit won't last forever, you know. You need the full upgrade.
You're not turning me into one of those things.
I'm rebuilding you to survive in a world not made for flesh.
Look at them. They are screaming in pain every second. They're alive.
Oh, but we've got something for that now.
He turns and takes a strange shaped device from a table. It's some piping in a squared off S shape. There's a unit mounted on the middle of the bar of the S. It looks like a torchlight.
This won't stop you feeling the pain, but it will stop you caring about it.
He's now twisting the unit in his hands so that the top of the curve of the S swivels around the lamp unit and mirrors the bottom curve. It is becoming recognizable as the head handles of a Mondus Cyberman.
It fits over your head.
Cut to interior lift. The doctor, Nardole, and Missy in the lift. As it bumps to a halt, the doors now grinding open. The doctor races out into. Cut to interior side room of operating theater. 2 years since night 10. This room resembles the layout of the bridge above. The lift doors in the same position, but dingier, more cellar-like. There are a few consoles and flickering monitors about the place.
Okay, you two, welcome to a new time zone. Please don't reset your watches because that would be really stupid.
So how do we find Bill?
Strangely enough, I don't immediately know that. It's almost like I'm not made of magic.
Oh, it's so messy here, isn't it? I didn't know being a goodie would be so brown.
Right. Need some more information about this ship. A map, if we can get one.
On it.
No, Missy, you do it. Nardole with me.
He's heading to a pair of doors.
Hang on, I'm the computer guy. That's all me.
Sorry, she's cleverer.
She's more evil.
Same thing.
Really isn't.
But a little bit the same.
The doctor is already out the door. Nardole follows. We stay on Missy, typing away at the keyboard. A shadow falls over her. And now we see Mr. Razor leering at her.
Hello.
Missy glances round at him.
Oh, hello, ordinary person. Please maintain a minimum separation of 3 feet. I'm really trying not to kill anyone today, but it would be tremendous help if your major arteries were out of reach.
She gets back to work. He grins at her, so delighted.
I have been so looking forward to meeting you.
Right, yes, very good.
On Razor, there's something fixed and terrifying about his grin. Cut to interior corridor outside operating room. The doctor and Nardole making their way along.
You know what this place smells like?
A hospital.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my mom.
They look at each other.
Long story.
Aren't they all?
Gives me character.
You've got enough now. You can stop.
The doctor, now easing the doors open, stepping through into. Cut to interior operating theater. The room is dark and seemingly empty again. They look around the shadows, then the doctor clicks his screwdriver. The light comes on. As before, there are 4 patients in wheelchairs ranged around a circular wall, but now they seem to be slumped asleep. Nardole yelps in fright, hides behind the doctor.
Oh, there's always a scary thing with you, isn't there?
Are you only getting that now?
Cut to interior, side room of operating theater. Observed by leering Mr. Razor, Missy is tapping away at the console.
Oh, this is super interesting. I assumed this ship was from Earth, full of squishable little humans, but it's not from Earth at all, is it?
You don't remember me, do you?
I mean, an Earth-like planet, but not Earth itself. Very Earth-like. If planets had twins.
You don't remember being here before, do you?
I've never been here before. Now, you stop talking before I splat your brains for finger paint.
Oh, you've been here before. You really can trust me on that.
Planet, which planet?
Cut to interior operating theater. The doctor examining one of the slump patients. He's sonicking at the chest unit.
This technology looks very familiar. What have you got?
Nardole tapping at the computer, reading the monitor.
Lots of genetic, bioengineering, bit crude, lots of stuff about something called Exodus, Operation Exodus.
He hits a key on the keyboard and a door hums open in another part of the room.
Doctor?
The doctor looks round, Nardole pointing to a newly opened door.
It just opened.
What were you looking at?
Operation Exodus.
The doctor crosses to him, looks through the door. The room itself is in total darkness, but the light cast by the door illuminates a pair of booted feet. A patient seems to be sitting in a chair, but the top half is in a shadow.
Hello?
The feet shift. The figure heaves itself to its feet. Cut to interior side room off operating theater. Missy staring at the screen, almost in awe.
Mondus! Look at that! This ship is from Mondus!
Cut to interior operating theater. The figure moving towards the doctor, the light sliding up as it advances, revealing. We cut away right before we can see what the doctor and Nardole see. They stare in horror.
That's not. Is that?
A Mondasian Cyberman. The unit we saw earlier has become the head handles. The finesse eye holds and mouth slit are now recognizable as the round eyes and box-shaped mouth of the 10th planet version of the Cyberman. The figure takes another lurching step forward.
It's a Cyberman. A Mondasian Cyberman.
Cut to interior, side room off operating theater. Missy whirling around, heading for the door. Urgent now.
Doctor!
Doctor, oh, doctor!
Missy turns, looking at him with proper Scottish affront. Razor has a gun trained on her.
Now look, I may be about to take that silly little gun away from you and possibly your kidneys.
He'll never forgive you, you know. Never set you free. Not when he discovers what you did to his little friend.
I haven't done anything to her.
Oh, I'm afraid you did. A long time ago.
Cut to interior operating theater. The massive Cyberman is advancing on the doctor and Nardole, who retreat in front of it. The doctor has a screwdriver trained on it.
You're brand new. You're fresh out of the factory. You're not ready for a fight yet.
He looks a bit ready, Doctor.
Bill Potts. Where is Bill Potts? Do you know?
The Cyberman shambles to halt. That sing-song voice.
Doctor,
You know me.
you are doctor.
Cut to interior side room off operating theater.
Am I supposed to know what you're talking about? Would it help you to focus if I extracted some of your vital organs and made a lovely soup?
Oh, you would never be so self-destructive.
So what?
But then,
Tosses his gun aside.
neither would I.
Missy, confused now. What the hell is going on? Cut to interior operating theater. The Cyberman advancing on the doctor.
Listen to me. We mean you no harm. We're passing through, looking for Bill Potts, friend of mine.
Bill Potts.
Yes, Bill Potts. You're a Cyberman. You're part of the neural net. Can you find her?
Bill Potts.
The Cyberman now lumbering at the doctor as if to attack. Cut to interior, side room off operating theater. Razor leering at Missy.
I love disguises. Do you still like surprises?
On Missy, a terrible dawning possibility. Razor is now reaching under his beard.
Of course, rather necessary when you happen to be someone's former prime minister.
And Razor rips the mask from his face, revealing his true identity. The Master! Cut
You
to
stupid asshole.
interior, operating theater. The Cyberman advancing on the doctor as he backs away.
Get back from it. Stay away from it.
Accessing Bill Potts. Locating Bill Potts. I am Bill Potts.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is like edge of my seat kind of shit. The doctor looking up in horror. Wait, what? Cut to interior, side room of operating theater. The Master and Missy stand in confrontation.
Hello, Missy. I'm the Master, and I'm very worried about my future. Give us a kiss.
Cut to interior operating theater. The doctor staring up in horror at the Cyberman.
I am Bill Potts.
And through the eye holes of the cyber mask, we can see Bill's eyes staring out. Despite this, the Cyberman is the normal, huge size.
Bill? Bill, what have they done to you?
It's Project Exodus, whatever that is.
Bill, talk to me.
A voice from the doorway.
Well, the wrong name for a start.
Missy strolling in from the doorway, confident now, cold, swaggering.
I'm glad you waited for me, Cyberman.
I waited.
This is not Exodus, is it, Doctor?
Missy has taken up position next to the Cyberman, smiling smugly at him.
It's more of a beginning, really, isn't it?
I waited.
Another voice from the doorway.
In fact, you know what I'd call it?
The doctor looks in horror. It's the Master. No! Two of them at once? The Master strolls into the room, takes up position, the other side of the Cyberman.
I'd call it a genesis.
You've met my ex?
Specifically, the genesis of the Cybermen.
The doctor looks from one to the other. Oh dear God, he's in trouble now. The Cyberman, its hands still raised in appeal.
I waited for you.
Close on one of Bill's eyes, staring in terror at the doctor, a tear forming in the corner of one, exactly like the teardrop eye of a Cyberman in titles. All right.
Go for it.
I just forgot what the episode was called, but now the doctor falls. Exterior, countryside farms, drone shot, spreading below us the most beautiful sunlit countryside you can imagine. Meadow farms and rivers and cottages under a perfect blue sky. On a dirt track far below, a horse and cart. Now drifting down to this. In a cart, a bunch of kids jostling along, chatting, laughing, happy. Their clothes are rough and simple. Could be any era. Most possibly the Waltons. Closer on the little girl, about 12. This is Alit. She's not joining in the chatter. She's watching the countryside roll in. Dark, thoughtful eyes. Alit's point of view, a field rolling past in the middle of the field, not yet clearing scene, a scarecrow. Alit staring at it, now closer on the scarecrow. Closer, this is no ordinary scarecrow. It's clearly one of the special patients from the world below. It is chained to a post in the middle of a field. Its head hangs slackly. Dead? Panning along, as with the cart in the distance, we can see a couple of other chained up patients, also serving as scarecrows, now panning past another really close to us. Weakly, it raises its head, as if watching the cart go past. On Alit again, frowning at the strange scarecrow as the cart rattles along. They look sad, Whoa. Go ahead.
They look sad, the scarecrows.
A little boy pops up next to her, Gazron.
You're not supposed to look at them. They eat children.
Alit, frowning. How could that be true? Cut to exterior, big country house. The cart is stopped outside a big house, evidently home to these kids. They are scrambling out back, running and laughing towards the house. On the front step, a large smiling woman, Hazran, is spreading her arms, welcoming them. It's like she's everybody's mom. While the other kids run towards her, Alec walks at the back. She looks up at the sky again. Alec's point of view, the sky, faintly like a mirage, half seen, a giant number just above the clouds, 507. Cut to interior, dorm room, night. A big dorm room at the top of the country house we saw earlier. Kids milling about, getting ready for bed, talking, laughing. Hazran comes bursting through the door. She carries a rifle. Clearly, there's an emergency.
Everyone under their beds, now.
Alit stares at her, wide-eyed.
Again? Alit, get under your bed and stay there.
Behind her, through the open door of the dorm, we see a couple of men run past, clutching rifles. Cut to interior, dorm. A few minutes later, the room is in darkness now. Alit under her bed, listening. Gunfire from below, thunderous. Alit looks along. Under the next bed is Gazron, also scared.
Well, shit. I mean, it's okay. We'll be okay. They've got a procedure.
Alit looks dubiously at him, and now she's scrambling out from under her bed.
Alit!
She goes out to the window, looks out into the moonlight. Alit's point of view, eerily through the trees, patients are lumbering towards the house. Below, Hazran and a number of adults are firing at the patients. As we watch, one of the patients is hit. Balls.
Alit, get back under your bed.
But Alit just stares.
It's the scarecrows, new ones.
They'll catch them, don't worry.
The Gazron looks very worried indeed. Cut to exterior, a meadow. Another beautiful day. Alit on her own, mooching, bored. She squints into a distance, some distance away. Some men are tying a limp patient to a frame, creating a new scarecrow. A rumble like thunder, but the sky is clear. Alit looks round in confusion, but now the ground is shaking. What's happening? A little distance from her, a round section of a meadow simply erupts, an explosion of soil.
and a great beam of light shoots up into the sky. Now a huge something bursts up through and roars up into the air. Alit watching, scary and awesome. Arsing through the sky, what is clearly, to us, a small shuttlecraft. It is battered and burned and old and looks faintly reminiscent of a giant ship. It sputters and stalls. It seems to just hang in the sky for a moment. And now it's plunging down, right at Alit. Alit screams and races away, trying to get clear. We go with her as she's thrown herself to the ground, hands over her ears. And now there is the most almighty crash. The ground shakes. Now Alit is raising her head, peering over. Alit's point of view is the crashed shuttlecraft a few feet away. It is almost entirely obscured by smoke. Now a massive figure is emerging through the smoke. First the head handles, then those round staring eyes, the giant lumbering form of a Cyberman. And panning down, we see that it is carrying someone. Hanging in the Cyberman's arms, cradled like a baby, is the lifeless form of the doctor. Cut to opening titles. Exterior, hospital roof. Close on the doctor, eyes closed. A trickle of blood runs down the side of one of them.
How many times have you died?
The doctor's eyes flicker, like he's waking. Cut to interior, operating theater. Flashback, fast, jittery, soundless. The doctor, as we last saw him in episode 11. Missy and the master, flanking. The Bill Cyberman, now facing him. The master raising his gun and leveling at the doctor. Cut to exterior hospital rooftop. On the doctor's eyes, flickering again, starting to blink awake.
How many different ways?
Cut to interior operating theater. Flashback, the master and Missy advancing on the doctor. Demonic smiles. The master drawing his laser screwdriver. The doctor lunging forward to get out of there. Cut to exterior hospital rooftop. The doctor's flickering eyes like he's trying to force himself into consciousness. The doctor's point of view, blurry, two figures pacing around in front of him. They are silhouetted against a fiery sky. Passing him now, the master.
Have you burned?
As he paces out of the shot, he reveals.
I know you've fallen.
The master pops his head back into frame.
Have you ever drowned?
Missy thrusting her face forward to the master's, the two manic faces now filling the field of vision.
Have you ever felt the blade?
The doctor's eyes blinking, determined. Wake, damn it, wake! Cut to interior operating theater. Flashback, Amelie, the doctor, and the master fighting. The doctor has the master's gun arm, has yanked it round, is smashing it against one of the consoles, trying to make him drop it. Missy is watching, dancing with glee, clapping her hands. The boys are fighting, the boys are fighting. Cut to exterior, hospital rooftop. The master and Missy's faces, filling the doctor's point of view.
I suppose what we're asking, dear, is, well...
Any requests?
The doctor's eyes screwing shut in effort. Cut to interior operating theater. Flashback on Missy, grinning demonically as she slashes down with the handle of her Mary Poppins brawly. The doctor spins, clutching his head, slams against one of the consoles, on his hands as they land on a particular set of controls. Keyboard monitor. He looks up from the console. The doctor's point of view. The door leading to the hospital. The corridor fleeing down it. Nardole. Slow motion as Nardole looks back to the doctor. Agonized regret, but still running for it. The doctor crashes to the floor. Clearing frame, he leaves us with a shot of Missy and the master. They high-five each other. On the doctor, sprawled on the floor, passing out. Looming above him, Bill Cyberman, observing and passive, indifferent. Defocusing as the doctor passes out in the blackness.
I'm assuming you're the next one along, yeah?
Cut to exterior hospital rooftop. The doctor jerking awake again. Wider on him, tied to a wheelchair. Around him, the concrete jumble of the hospital rooftop. Beyond that, there is a hellish orange glow, like a city in flames. Closer, two figures clasped together, dancing. The master and Missy.
I think so. Bit hazy on the whole regeneration, I'm afraid.
What? But it turned into a woman and you don't even remember it happening.
Oh? Am I a woman now?
Yeah, kind
Hold
of.
me.
Kiss
Make
me.
me.
Do you two want to be alone?
They look to the doctor.
Which, in your case, would mean more than it usually does.
Oh, Granddad's back. We've been debating how best to kill
Where's
you.
Bill?
We were going to chuck you off the roof, but we're not sure how many regenerations you've got left.
Oh, we could be up and down the stairs all night.
Could have shoot you, but it's a bit vanilla.
Yeah, but old school is nice for a
I
change.
said, where's Bill?
Thing is, if we tell you that, we'll really upset you.
So, she's right.
She's
right behind
right
you.
behind you.
The doctor twists round. There's the Bill Cyberman standing against the wall.
Look, there's Bill, dead, dismembered, fed through a grinder, squeezed into a Cyberman and doomed to an eternal afterlife as a biomechanical psycho zombie. It was hilarious.
10 years you were up there chatting. You missed her by 2 hours.
Missy stoops to the doctor, pushing her face into his.
They ripped out her heart and dropped it in a bin, then burned it all away.
On the doctor, such pain for a moment. Under that, anger. But he closes his eyes for a moment, puts it away.
Oh, he's internalizing. Oh, I love it when he's Mr. Volcano.
The doctor opens his eyes again, fixes her with a look that should freeze her alive, then flicks his gaze to the master.
Last time I saw you, you were going back to Gallifrey.
I didn't stay. Why would I
So they
stay?
cured your little condition and kicked you out.
I cured myself. It was a mutual.
And somehow you wound up in this dump. You never could drive.
You wouldn't understand.
Let's see how I do. Your TARDIS got stuck, so you killed a lot of people, took over the city, ruled like a king till they rebelled against your cruelty, and ever since then you've been hiding away, probably in disguise, because everyone knows your stupid, round face.
A little bit.
The
Shut up.
master has now grabbed the handles on the doctor's wheelchair.
Want to see my city, Doctor? Want to see what happens when you're too late to save a little friend and
He
everybody
wheels
else?
the doctor to the edge of the rooftop. We now see across the city. It has changed from before. Deserted, dark, no lights on anywhere. The fiery glow comes from a large factory-like building dotted around the place. They glow like furnaces, as if they contain hell inside. And there is a clamor and hammer of heavy machinery. Drills whine, inches grind. Maybe faintly we can hear screams.
You see? First, there's the hospital. Now it's mass production. The cyber foundries.
This whole city is a machine to turn people into Cybermen.
The doctor looking around horrified. Details. A queue of humans are being led into one of the factories, shepherded by Cybermen.
What do you think? Isn't it exciting? The Cybermen getting started.
They always get started. They happen everywhere there's people. Mondas, Telos, Earth, Planet 14, Marinus.
A deep chiming sound from above. The doctor ignores it, carries on talking. He acts like he's been expecting this.
Like sewage and smartphones and Donald Trump. Some things are just inevitable.
Master and Missy's point of view. There's some sort of radar mast surmounting on the roof. Is the chime coming from there?
What is that? What's happening?
People get the Cybermen wrong. There's no evil plan, no evil genius. Just parallel evolution.
The master has looked around, and now he stares out over the city. He goes to the edge of the roof.
Doctor, what did you do?
People plus technology, minus humanity, the internet, cyberspace, cybermen. Always read the comments, because one day there'll be an army.
The master's point of view, along with the streets leading towards the hospital, 3 Cybermen are marching. He looks to another street. More Cybermen.
Look!
Missy is pointing at one of the neighboring buildings. Missy's point of view, eerie sight. Cybermen staring out at the windows, staring at them. As we watch, they turn from the windows, start lumbering away.
They're coming! They're coming for us!
That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't it?
These Cybermen are primitive. Their program to track human beings and convert them. They home on human life signs only.
You two, you should know by now. Whenever you think you're winning and I'm in the room, there's something you missed.
What did we miss?
You shouldn't have hit me, Missy. I was waiting for my chance.
On Missy. What? Cut to interior operating theater. Flashback, the moment when Missy slashed at the doctor with her brawly. He spins, slams against the console, now painting fast down to his hands, moving instantly to the keyboard. Cut to interior hospital rooftop. The doctor lording it over Missy and the master from his wheelchair.
When you can't see what I'm doing, you should know to be scared.
Cut to interior operating theater. Flashback on the doctor, his hands moving super fast on the keyboard. Cut to exterior hospital rooftop.
Computer, containing the algorithm defining human life signs. I only had time to change one detail. A single number. A 1 to a 2.
They look at him, uncomprehending.
1 heart to 2 hearts.
Suddenly, blazing from the tops of the 2 neighborhood buildings, bloodlights that are caught in these scorching white beams.
I expanded the definition. Took them a while to update the net, but here we go. Welcome to the menu.
Thump, thump, monstrous feet ascending the stone steps. Zip pan to the open door leading down into the building. Oh my God, a Cyberman is stomping up the stairs.
Now, hey, think we count as human, and they're going to fix that in a hurry.
On Missy aims her brawly sonics. The door to the stairs slams shut on the Cyberman. Clang, clang, eerily a Cyberman appearing over the edge of the building. It's clanging up the fire escape. The master yanking his laser screwdriver from his jacket. The Cyberman falls back, its chest unit flaming.
There must be other ways up here. We can't cover them all.
You can't fight a whole city. You know the stories. There's only ever been one way to stop that many Cybermen.
Tracking in on the doctor. Hero shot.
Me.
Crash, crash. The Cyberman on the stairs is battering at the sealed door. Clang, clang. Another Cyberman clanging up the fire escape. Again, the master with his laser screwdriver.
Then do it. Stop them.
Oh, begging for your life already. It's a new record.
I'm not begging you. I would rather die than beg you.
Lucky day, then.
A glow has appeared on the locked door to the stairs. Clearly, the Cyberman is trying to burn through. A metal is visibly softening.
I don't need you. I can do this. They're Cybermen. Cybermen aren't chemicals.
Knock yourself out.
Whack! Missy has knocked him over the head with her brawly. The master drops like a sack of potatoes.
Your wish is my command.
Untie me.
Missy has darted round behind the doctor.
I was secretly on your side all along.
Is that true?
Don't spoil the moment.
The doctor, now springing up from the wheelchair, turning to confront Missy.
No, seriously, I need to know. Is that true?
She's caught in a blazing stare for a moment, then almost a sad smile.
Hard to say, my dear. I'm in two minds, but fortunately, the other one's unconscious.
The doctor gives her a look, now draws his screwdriver.
Nardole, have you been useful?
And now the roar of vengeance from above, wind blasting down at them as the shadow slides over the rooftop. They look up. A shuttlecraft, a bit broken down and very used, is hanging just above them.
Found this in the loading bay. Shuttlecraft.
Cut to interior shuttlecraft cockpit. Nardole at the controls. He yanks a lever. Cut to exterior hospital rooftop. And a rope ladder comes clattering down. The doctor, now grabbing the master to his feet, throws him at Missy.
Get Junior up there.
Oh, it hit me really hard.
You're telling me? I think I still got a bump.
Right. First things first.
In a big shock, a Cyberman appears right behind him, grabbing him in a bear hug. He cries out in pain, energy now crackling all over him as he screams and twists.
Doctor!
She's leaped to where the master has dropped his laser screwdriver, snatching it up. But before she can turn to and use it, there is a blazing crackle. The Cyberman has staggered back from the doctor, smoke pouring from its joints. It drops to its knees, then crashes down on its face. The doctor, white face, clearly very injured. He looks dazedly too. The Bill Cyberman stands there, one hand on his chest unit. But how did it fire at the Cyberman? It now stoops slightly and fires again, the blasting yellow beam shooting out from the head unit. The prone Cyberman bursts into flames. On Missy, seen enough.
Up the ladder, now, quickly!
The master now scrambling up the ladder, the doctor staring groggily at Bill Cyberman.
Bill?
But now he passes out, crashing to the ground. Missy looks at him.
What was that, doctor? You only slow us down. Yeah. Right.
She starts scrambling up the ladder. The Bill Cyberman looks down at the prone doctor and now stands over him, one foot planted either side of his body, guarding him. Now another Cyberman advances across the roof. Bill Cyberman fires at him. Cut to interior shuttlecraft cockpit. The master is scrambling into the co-pilot seat as Nardole watches what's going on below the monitor.
The doctor's dead and he told me he's always hated you. Let's go.
No.
Missy now scrambling up through the hatch.
The doctor's dead. He told me he always hated you.
You heard the first time.
Oh, tedious.
The master grabs control of the ship.
Oi!
We need to get away from here, find a hole in the roof, or make one. Is there a great big gun in the front? That'd be good.
The whole ship lurches.
I don't think we're going anywhere. Bill's back.
Cut to exterior hospital rooftop. On the doctor, his eyes flickering open. Above him looms the Cyberman. His arm is stretched out, gripping onto something. The doctor looks. The Bill Cyberman is holding the rope ladder, anchoring the shuttlecraft above, as if flying a kite. The doctor blinks, trying to make sense of this. Bill? It's Bill.
Bill, I will fix this. I will get you back again, I swear.
His eyes flutter. He passes out again. Close on the Cyberman's eyes, and through the dark mesh, we can see Bill's human eyes, bright and tear-filled. We slowly fade to black. Fade into exterior meadow. We're back at the opening tableau. The Bill Cyberman looms over the tiny figure of Alit, which the unconscious doctor cradled into its arms. Alit staring up in terror and wonder.
Now emerging through the smoke, two more figures, Missy and the master, now standing either side of the Cyberman, looking around.
Are we still on the ship?
One of the solar farms. Hologram sky. Bit of an atmosphere.
Looking up, he sees the number, remembers it.
507.
Missy has noticed the little girl, looks at her in disgust.
Who are you?
The master and Missy looks at the little girl, just as Nardole comes coughing through with the smoke.
Right, that's the last floor we can bust through. Engines blown.
Nardole approached.
Oh, hello, little girl. We're from downstairs, and I think we're going to need your help.
Dissolve 2, exterior country home. Night has fallen. The big country house stands silent. Now, coming out of the door, Hazran. She has some blankets under her arm, now heads off somewhere, bustling. We stay on the door, now closer, as the head peeps out. It's Alit, watching Hazran go. Alit's point of view has Hazran heads towards the barn. Cut to interior barn. A barn, a proper working barn, full of farm machinery. Panning around the barn, we discover, is that Bill? Yes, it's Bill. Bill in her hospital smock, but looking normal, human again. She is sleeping on a hay bale. From off, we hear a door open, approaching footsteps. Bill stirs, awakened by the noise, looks flaring up. Standing sternly over her, folded blankets in her arms, is Hazran.
Sorry, you have to stay out here. You frighten the children.
Where am I? How did I get here? Sorry, I can't remember.
Hazran lays blankets on the floor at her feet. It's like she's too scared to actually approach Bill.
What am I doing in a barn?
Bill has scrambled to her feet, and the effort on Hazran is immediate, and the effect on Hazran is immediate. Again, she falters back at a couple of steps. Again, she seems to be struggling to control her feet.
What's
Fear.
wrong?
I'm sorry, it's just the way you look.
Sorry, what?
The doctors explained that you're not dangerous, but it's difficult.
What's difficult? Where is the doctor?
Hazran is already heading to the door.
His injuries are being tended to.
Injuries?
And the door is already closing behind her.
I want to see the doctor. I need to talk to him.
Bill is stepping forward to follow Hazran and hears a door lock. What? Dissolve 2? Interior barn. Sunshine streaming into the barn. Bill peering out through a gap in the planks. Bill's point of view on the ground. There's Missy and the master arguing furiously. A noise makes Bill's turn. Someone is unlocking and opening the door. And now Alit peers round. She looks fearful, but determined. She's now slips into the barn, closes the door.
Okay, first of all, ma'am. Hello.
Hello.
Alit tries nervously, a little to smile, takes a timid step forward.
Everyone's too scared to talk to me, but I'm not.
Why are they scared?
Well, you know.
I really don't.
Cut 2, exterior country home. As the kids play in the grounds, Alit is cautiously exiting the house. She has something wrapped under her old shawl. She heads towards the barn. Interior barn. Bill is sitting in a corner, her knees drawn up to her chin, her arms wrapped around them, a picture of despair, till she hears the door opening. Alit, looking very nervous with her shawl wrapped package. Bill looks at her. Now her eyes go to the wrap package in Alit's hands.
That it?
Alit nods, sets the package down on the floor, steps back to let Bill approach.
I really wouldn't harm you, you know that.
I know.
She shrugs helpless. She can't help but being afraid, and Bill steps forward to pick up the package. She pulls off the blanket, now handles what appears to be a square of wood. She gives a little glance at Alit, takes a breath, turns the square of wood over, reveals it to be a mirror. She stares at herself. The shot is angled, so we can't see Bill's reflection, but now we track round and see a Cyberman staring back from the mirror. Now from Alit's point of view, a huge Cyberman, built as she truly is, stands in the barn, staring at itself in the mirror. When it speaks, it's not Bill's voice, but the computerized sing-song voice of a Cyberman.
That is not me.
Alit is backing away.
I'm sorry.
I am Bill Potts.
I'm sorry.
Tracking on the face of the Cyberman.
I am Bill Potts.
Stepping through the door, the doctor. We don't feature it much, but he is now walking with a cane. Alit runs to him, hides her face in his coat. He hugs her, then smiles at the Cyberman.
Hey, Bill Potts. How are you today?
The Cyberman, somehow plaintive as it looks at the doctor.
Doctor.
Alit, why don't you go and play with the other kids?
I'm sorry I gave her a mirror.
You were being kind. Nothing wrong with kind. I'll see you later, Alit.
Alit nods, looks to the Cyberman.
Bye.
The Cyberman gives an approximation of a nod, Cyberman's point of view. As it watches Alit walk out the door closes. The doctor looks back to the Cyberman. But when we cut back to the Cyberman, it's Bill again, back to normal. The emerging grammar will be this. When we cut on our way to Bill's point of view, we see her as she sees her and feels herself, the normal, human Bill Potts. When we see her as others see her, she sees herself in the mirror. We see her as she truly is now, a Cyberman. Bill and the doctor now facing each other. A brief, pained silence. The doctor knows this is going to be one of the most difficult conversations of his life. Bill knows this news she is not going to like.
What was that in the mirror?
A Cyberman.
What's a Cyberman?
Technologically augmented human being, designed to survive in a hostile environment. Perfectly sound idea. Unfortunately, all they want to do is turn everyone else into Cybermen too. They go viral.
Like Corona. Why?
Because they consider themselves to be an improvement, an upgrade.
No. Why do I see a Cyberman in the mirror?
What do you remember?
Well, there's quite a lot, you know. Fuck. Come on. Damn it, eyelashes. Jesus. I was down there 10 years.
And then one day, they took you to the conversion theater. Do you remember that?
No. Bits of it. You turned up.
Do you remember what they did to you?
Nothing. Look at me. I'm fine.
The doctor, eloquent silence.
I'm fine.
She puts her hand on her own face for confirmation. We cut close on her fingers as they make contact, but in a close shot of her fingers are cyber fingers, and her face is slickly white of cyber flesh. She snatches her hand away. What was that? And in a wider shot, she's Bill again.
You're so strong. You're amazing. Your mind has rebelled against the programming, built a wall around itself, a castle made of you. And you're standing on the battlements saying, no, no, not me.
What are you talking about?
All that time, living under the monks, you learned to hang on to yourself.
But I'm fine. Look at me.
Bill, what you see is not you. I fitted you with a perception filter.
A what?
I thought it might help if you could see and feel yourself as you used to be. But it's not real.
Used to be?
Sort of like a psychic hologram. It won't work all the time, but...
What do you mean, used to be?
Flaring with anger, she's advanced on the doctor. He falters back a step, just like the others did. But why?
Bill, I'm sorry, but you can't be angry anymore. A temper is a luxury you can no longer allow yourself.
Bill staring at him. Why is he saying this? Then she sees her own shadow falling across the doctor and the wall behind him, a massive looming shadow with handles jutting out of its head. She stares at the shadow, a horrible creeping thought. She steps towards her own grotesque shadow, her anger building.
Why? Why can't I? Why can't I be angry?
Bill, please.
You left me alone for 10 years. You do not tell me I cannot be angry.
Cutting close on Bill. But as we cut closer, we switch to Cyberman form as the head unit fires a beam of energy. Blam! As the dust and fire dies down, we see that she has blasted a hole in the side of the barn. She stares. Oh my God.
Because of that. That's why. Because you're a Cyberman.
She stares dazedly for a moment and then walks out through the hole. Cut to exterior country home grounds. Bill standing, staring around. Kids and adults are staring back, keeping a safe distance. Now Nardole is there, marshalling them all, barking orders.
Right, everyone, back to work, please. Nothing to scare. Somebody broke the barn. No biggie.
As everyone returns to work, Nardole throws a little half wave at her, the doctor, now joining Bill. Bill is watching the people disperse. They all seem to have various tasks, cleaning rifles, piling sandbags around the house. A few of them glance nervously over at her, and then they look away.
What do they all see when they all look at me?
The perception filter won't always work, especially if they're afraid.
And people are always going to be afraid of me, aren't they? Aren't they?
On Bill's face, as she turns to look at him, a single tear is trickling out of the corner of her eye on the doctor, turning to look at her. The doctor's point of view, the cyber face, but the single tear is leaking out of the corner of one of the mesh eyes, exactly like the teardrop shape of the traditional cyber eye. The doctor reaches to wipe away the tear. As we move closer on the tear, it's Bill again, because that's how the doctor sees her. On the doctor, frowning slightly, seemingly fixated on the tear moisture on his fingers.
What is it? Engine oil?
No, it's an actual tear, but it shouldn't be.
A voice from off calling.
Doctor!
They look round, the master strutting towards them.
Right, while you've been busy chatting up RoboMop, me have been busy. We found it.
He looks to Bill. From the master's point of view, Bill is simply a Cyberman. Instantly and mockingly, he drops into his razor persona.
Oh, and hello, my dear. God, you were boring for all those years, but it was worth every day to watch for this.
The Cyberman just stares impassively back at him.
Bill, don't let him upset you.
Though, hang on. Didn't you used to be a woman? I'm going to be a woman fairly soon. Any tips? Or maybe, I don't know, old bras?
Super tampons. Get them. I am not upset.
It doesn't take that all the fun out of cruelty. Might as well rile up a fridge. Come on, this way.
Can we pause for a moment? All right. As he crosses frame, we cut closer on Bill's Cyberman. And as we do so, we see Bill's face again. Not angry, but tears of hurt and rage and pain. This is the worst day of her life. She follows after the others. She clears frame, and we are left with Nardole crossing the house. Hazran confronts him.
Nardole, you're working them too hard. This isn't work, it's war. Those creatures have come up here before. We use them as scarecrows. What's coming now isn't scarecrows, Hazran. It's an army of Cybermen. Well, it's not the end of the world. No, Hazran. That's what it is. The end of the world is exactly what it is.
Cut to exterior forest, the master leading the way through the forest, the doctor and Bill following. Bill.
Well, I'm unmuted. Why are there so many kids in this house?
Small community, only several hundred at the most. They keep all the children together for their protection.
The doctor points, their point of view filled with several patient scarecrows in it.
Those things make it up here sometimes. They try to take the children.
But suddenly he gives a sudden gasp of pain, stumbles, nearly falls, clutches a tree for support.
Are you all right?
Bill's attention now caught by the doctor's hands. They're glowing, the familiar golden glow of regeneration energy.
Fine. Yes. Fine. Fine.
With a great effort of will, the doctor slams his hands together. The glow snaps out.
What was that?
They target the children because conversion is easier with a younger donor. The brain's fresher, and because the body's smaller, there's less to...
Breaks off, almost like he's embarrassed.
Less to what?
Less to throw away.
On Bill. This impacts, registers. She looks down at herself.
Did they throw me away? My body, did they throw me away?
Well, the exact procedures is a tiny bit funnier.
We'll catch you up.
The master is about to continue away, but finds himself caught in the doctor's glare. Not a time to argue with him.
Whatever.
He turns and heads away. Silence between the doctor and Bill. Then...
You said, I remember you said, you could fix this. You could get me back. Did you say that?
The doctor looks at her again, sees her as human.
I did say that, yes.
Were you lying?
No.
A beat.
Were
Bill Judd. Go ahead.
Were you right?
No.
A beat. Bill digests, nods, turns out over the rolling countryside. A silence.
Bill?
We're not going to get out of this one, aren't we?
Well, I don't know. There are always possibilities.
I can feel it in my head. The programming, the Cybermen, taking me over piece by piece. It's like I'm hanging on in a hurricane, and I can't hang on for forever.
Bill, whatever it takes.
You need to know, as my friend, I don't want to live if I can't be me anymore.
A silence. She lets that land.
On the doctor as he looks at his hand again, just the tiniest flicker of that regeneration glow.
Yeah.
And that's not possible, right?
Tell you what else isn't possible. A Cyberman crying.
Bill turned to look at him. What?
Where there's tears, there's hope. Come on.
He starts leaning the way off. Cut to exterior forest clearing. On Missy, she's at the center of a clearing, walking in a wide circle and sonicking something at the center of it, the master observing.
Weird. How you don't remember any of this?
Two of us together puts the timelines out of sync. You can't retain your memories, so I don't have them. Where is he?
She glances around as she hears something. Missy's point of view, the doctor and Bill entering the clearing.
Oh, you absolutely had to bring her, didn't you?
Huh. It's a Cyberman now.
Missy glances over, registers the truth.
Sorry, yes.
Closer on the doctor and Bill, they exchange a look. Interesting that Missy saw her in human form. Throughout the scene, we maintain the following grammar. In long shot, we see Bill as a Cyberman, but then we cut close on her for a reaction shot. She's Bill. The master is outraged at Missy.
Becoming a woman is one thing, but have you got empathy?
Where is it?
Missy reaches out with a fist and raps on the invisible wall, a metallic clang.
Lift shaft, right here.
Hologram. Mustn't spoil the pretty forest. It's a wonder more people don't turn to genocide.
The doctor now sonacing the invisible shaft.
Good. This is how we evacuate them.
And the doors are right here.
She points her broadly at the invisible shaft. Sonics. The lift doors shimmer into invisibility. The rest of the lift shaft stays invisible. We now have the surreal sight of a pair of lift doors standing in the forest clearing.
There must be more of them. Quite close.
The doctor, sonacing through the trees. Several other pair of lift doors shimmering into visibility. At the various distance through the forest, beaming makes him spin. Missy is working at the control panel.
What are you doing? You just called the lift.
Well, we're going to need them, aren't we?
The lift was downstairs and quite possibly not empty.
It'll take ages to get up here.
Time moves faster down there. Don't you remember anything?
The Bill Cyberman steps forward.
Stand aside.
The Bill Cyberman squares up to the lift doors a few feet in front of them.
Bill?
Cutting close on the Cyberman. Now, from the doctor's point of view, it is Bill again.
Stand aside.
The doctor looks to the others.
Do as she says.
What? Her? Seriously?
Do as she says.
The others step aside, leaving the Bill Cyberman to face the danger.
Do what she says. Is the future going to be old,
We
girl?
can only hope.
On the lift, the indicator is climbing to the top. Close on Bill, stealing herself. On the lift, it chimes, it arrives. Slightly wider on Bill, so now we see her as the Cyberman. It raises its hand to its chest unit, ready to fire, and the lift doors whoosh open to reveal a gleaming silver, modern Cyberman. A moment, the doctor, horrified, close on Bill, horrified. And now, with terrifying speed, the Cyberman marches out of the lift, straight at Bill. The doctor, Missy, and the master now leaping, each aiming their sonic devices. A sonic shield traps the Cyberman.
Fire!
Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it!
The Bill Cyberman now blasting away from its head unit.
The silver Cyberman twisting in its blast, but seemingly unarmed. The Bill Cyberman blasting. The silver Cyberman pushing through the sonic shield, reaching at the Bill Cyberman, blasting. Finally, the silver Cyberman drops to its knees. The Bill Cyberman keeps firing and firing. The silver Cyberman falls sideways, crashes to the ground, lies inert. A moment of recovery.
Missy, sonic the lift. Keep it here.
But Missy has already leapt to the lift, doing as instructed. The doctor is now examining the fallen Cyberman, close on Bill.
Why is it different? Why does it look like that?
Master?
It's evolved.
Because time's moving faster at the bottom of the ship.
Exactly. Since we left, they've built a weapons-grade version to come after us. And we just gave our position away. Well done, the genius twins.
It doesn't matter. We can get right out of here. We can take the lift right up to the top, escape to your TARDIS. We could evacuate the Waldrons back here if you're feeling ridiculous.
We can't go back to the bridge. We can go up 4 or 5 floors at the most.
Why?
Time. The further we go up in the ship, the slower time moves for us, and the faster it moves for the Cybermen. By the time we get to the bridge, they'll have had thousands of years to work out how to stop us. There is no safe way for us to get back to the TARDIS. It's a mathematical impossibility.
And suddenly, dining through the forest, a terrible thumping, clanging sound like a giant heartbeat. Doom, doom. Dun dun.
Dun dun. I'm so glad you did that, Nicole. Okay. What's that?
On the doctor, clearly horrified. Cut to interior, children's dorm. The kids, they all look like they've been packing, but they've stopped because they too can hear the mighty thump of the heartbeat. Dun dun. On Alit, what is that? What is it? Cut to exterior, country home, grounds. Everyone stopped working, now listening. On Hazran, her neck prickling as she hears this terrible sound. Doom, doom. She looks round. Nardole, a few feet from her. Doom, doom.
Nardole, what is that? Tell me, what is it?
The doctor is now racing towards them, the others catching up behind him.
Doctor?
The Cybermen don't have fear, but they know how to use it. They're announcing their arrival. They're coming.
Now pushing in on the doctor.
The Cybermen are coming.
Cut to exterior, the cyber city. On the spire at the top of the hospital building, the light is now pulsing in time with doom, 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 doom. Now cutting round various places in the city. On a street, some Mundacian Cybermen stand in a row, looking up at the pulsing spire. Another street, a row of RTD-era Cybermen. Another street, a troop of modern Cybermen marching along. They slam to a halt, look up, and then, one by one, slowly at first, they start to ascend into the air. Now the RTD Cybers are doing the same. Now the Mundacians. Point of view from the hospital rooftop. All over the city, streaking up into the fiery sky, Cybermen blasting into the air like missiles. Wham! 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 On the ceiling with its giant number hanging far above, the flame trails of the Cybermen streaking towards the vast steel expanse. Now cutting round, impact after impact. The Cybermen smashing straight through the ceiling, the steel shattering and burning. Wham! 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 Cut to exterior, country home. The whole complex of the buildings now in uproar. The battle station. A mighty defense is being prepared. People running to and fro. Sandbags being heaved into position. Windows being boarded up. Everything is now fast and urgent. People run into stride, not walk. Conversations are rapid fire. There's Nardole, cross-legged on the ground. working on a laptop. It appears to be plugged straight into the ground. Bill and the doctor come striding past him.
How long till they get here?
200 miles of time-dilated spaceship. According to my calculations, I don't have time to do the sums.
We lose the doctor and Bill, and now Hazran is going at Nardole.
You realize it's hopeless, don't you? Oh, I was hoping someone would say that. For a moment, I was feeling a glimmer of purpose.
Cut to interior country home hallway. The doctor and Bill. The doctor is sonusing a trap door in the floor.
But do we have long enough?
No, they're Cybermen. There's no such thing as long enough.
He's hauled the trapdoor open. Cut to exterior country home. Hazran still going at Nardole.
Look at them. They've got armor.
She's gesturing at the back of the cart. The modern Cyberman is lying there. It's been brought back from the forest.
We don't have guns that can shoot through armor.
Nardole puts out a hand to Holst, who's standing there with a shotgun.
Gimme.
Cut to interior upstairs room. The master at the window looking down at the annex below. Behind him, Missy is in a rocking chair, apparently asleep.
Look at him. What's the point?
Need your TARDIS.
Why is he giving them hope? There's no way out of here.
We can't go up, but we can go down. Your TARDIS is right at the bottom of the ship, isn't it?
I suppose.
Is it or isn't it?
Cut to interior cellar. The doctor and Bill in the cellar. The doctor has cleared a wall, revealing a metal door set in stone. It looks high-tech, quite out of keeping with the cellar.
What's that?
We're on a spaceship, remember? That's a service duct. Rusted shut. Think you could get angry with it?
Cut to exterior country home. Hazran handing Nardole a shotgun. Taking it, Nardole doesn't even look. Keeps typing with his other hand. He aims the shotgun off to one side. Still not looking.
Is that tree anyone's favorite? Why?
He pulls the trigger and boom! Wider. We see the tree about 50 feet away explode into flames. Cut to interior cellar. The Bill Cyberman is blasting away at the hatch as the doctor watches. On the hatch, as it melts, cut to exterior country home. One of the men, Rexhill, is staring at the burning tree. His own shotgun is hanging in his arms.
What sort of gun is that? Same as yours. See that bush over there?
He points in a distant bush.
Shoot it.
A little non-pulse, Rexhill raises his gun and fires at the bush. Boom! It explodes into flames. As everyone stares at this, Hazran is looking down sardonically at Nardole.
Think you're quite something, don't you? I'm trying not to be the obvious.
Rexhill is examining his own gun in astonishment.
How was that possible?
Because this is not the countryside.
They look around where the doctor is striding towards them.
This is a spaceship.
Cut to interior upstairs room. An argument between Missy and the master. They prowl around each other, snapping and snarling like cats.
It's my TARDIS.
All TARDIS.
In the middle of a field full of Cybermen.
Who are all coming here.
And it doesn't work.
Because?
Never mind.
Because?
None of your business.
You are my business.
This fight should be fast, furious, comical, never pausing for breath. Cut to exterior country home. The doctor and his onlookers. He's been talking to them all, explaining how it was done.
If it fooled you, it will fool the Cybermen. They're robots, but they've got monkey brains. You can always fool a monkey brain.
His eyes go to Alit. She's watching from an upstairs window.
with a little bit of theater.
And he's running towards the house. Cut to interior upstairs room. Missy has the master in a headlock.
What have you done with my TARDIS?
It's my TARDIS.
As they crash into the floor together, we see the doctor run past the open doorway. Cut to interior dormitory. Alit still at the window as the doctor appears in the doorway behind her.
Hello?
Alit turns, sees him.
Hello.
The doctor, stepping into the room, looking curiously at her.
You're the brave one, aren't you?
Cut to interior upstairs room. Missy has the master slammed up against the wall, his arms up his back.
My vanity and I had trouble taking off.
The black hole?
Yeah, too close to the event horizon.
And you screwed up! You rushed it!
I blew the dematerialization circuit.
Why do I always do that?
Stop blaming yourself. It's hurting my arm.
Missy whirls the master around, slams him back against the wall.
Listen, I want you to promise me something right now.
Oh, what's the point? Wouldn't have you ever been able to trust me?
Something happened to me once, a very long time ago. A scary lady threw me against a wall and made me promise to always carry a spare dematerialization circuit. Now, I don't remember much about her now, but she must have made quite an impression.
The master stares at the dematerialization circuit.
Oh! You realize you've basically got me to thank for that.
You're welcome.
By the way, is it wrong that I...
Yes!
Cut to interior dormitory. The doctor and Alit now seating on adjacent beds facing each other.
I don't understand.
It's very simple. The Cybermen have removed all fear from their minds and hearts, but you, Alit, you're going to put it all back.
On Alit, unnerved, frightened, but she can't resist the tiniest smile. Dissolved to exterior space. The spaceship hanging in the void, still suspended in front of the swirling black hole, now tracking along into the lower reaches. Closer, through some of the portholes, we can see a fiery flicker. Cut to interior spaceship, straight into a giant ceiling with number 834. As before, a flame trails of flying Cybermen streaking towards the vast steel expanse, cutting round the blank faces of Cybermen just visible in the flames of their own flight. A Mendacian, an RTD, a modern, on the huge painted number on the steel ceiling. Wham, 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 as the Cybermen smash through. Cut to, yes, exterior space, panning up the spaceship. Cut to interior spaceship, another giant ceiling 699, the flame trail streaking towards it. Wham, wham. Cut to exterior space, now painting faster up the huge spaceship. Cut to exterior country home. The motion continues. As we crane up the shot of the country home, night has fallen. The complex of the buildings ready for war, sandbags everywhere, people on patrol, every window manned, the terrible stillness before conflict. Then, doom, 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 doom. The strange, menacing heartbeat of the Cybermen has started again, louder. Cut to interior dormitory. All the kids sitting on their beds, fully dressed. Without a smile. Coats on, they have their possessions wrapped up next to them, like they're ready to go. Tense, afraid. Doom, doom. Cut to interior, another dormitory. More kids sitting, waiting. On Alit now, at the window, she's staring out, thinking about this special mission. Doom, doom. Cut to exterior country home. On the front porch, the doctor, sitting on a wooden chair, tilted back against the door. Uncharacteristically, he has a shotgun resting across his knee. Doom, doom. Cut to interior country home kitchen. Nardole at the kitchen table, working hard at his laptop. A jug of ale is plonked down next to him. He looks at it in surprise. Another jug of ale is banged down next to it, and Hazran is pulling up a chair. Doom, doom.
Sorry, that stupid noise again. Louder this time. Yeah, it's going to be soon, isn't it?
Nardole looks at her, shrugs. Yep. Cut 2. Interior spaceship. Steel ceilings. We can barely read the numbers as the fiery trails of Cyberman men go smashing into it. Cut 2. Interior country home kitchen. Hazran setting down her jug of ale. She puts it very close to Nardole's.
So, where are you from?
Nardole's eyes flip to the 2 closed jugs. What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm just sort of found. On a doorstep? On a slave ship, so I'm told. Who loved you? Sorry, what? Loved me? Well, somebody brought you up. Quite well, I should say. Thank you.
But he doesn't elaborate, typing away.
See, you don't want to talk about it. I can't talk about it memory wipe for 20 years. Who would do that to a person? Me, it was me. I did it to myself. Why? No idea. I wiped that too. My first memory of being alive is waking up crying.
On Hazran, frowning, taking it all in as she sips her jug of ale, and now sets it even closer to Nardole's. Delicately, Nardole reaches and moves his jug a little away from hers.
I should probably tell you I'm not human. I'll try anything once.
I am in big shock. A Mundacian Cyberman is stomping through the door behind her, coming straight at her. Hearing this, Hazran spits, now lunges out of her chair, grabbing a shotgun from the counter, now blasting at the Cyberman. Blam! Blam! Nardole is on his feet too, yelling at Hazran.
No, stop! It's Bill! It's Bill!
On Hazran, registering that, realizes, stops firing, lowers the gun. Nardole has rushed to the door, calling out.
It's okay, everyone. False alarm. I'm sorry.
I understand.
As the Cyberman glances towards Nardole, we cut closer. And it's human Bill again, from Nardole's point of view.
If you want to come in and sit down.
I don't sit.
And Bill goes. Out of sight, we don't hear Bill's footsteps receding, but the stomp of cyber feet.
What was she like, Bill Potts? She's the best, the very best, when she was alive.
Cut to exterior country home. The doctor on the porch watching in the dark. Stomp, stomp. He glances around and sees Bill.
Listen, I don't suppose.
A tremendous loud blazing crackle, and on the horizon streaks zoom up into the night sky, the doctor springing to his feet. There's another and another. On the doctor looking up as we hear more unearthly screeching from the horizon. They look at each other.
We have a maximum of 10 minutes before they attack.
They look around, more and more blazing, screeching sounds.
Doctor, that's not real night. Is it? We could basically turn the lights on.
Cybermen prefer to attack in the dark.
What, you want to give them a confidence boost?
Give me fighters, give me firepower, but best of all, give me an enemy who's confident.
Alit is coming out of the door, heading towards the doctor.
Doctor, is it time?
The doctor looks at her, smiles. Nardole and Hazran are coming out of the door behind her.
Nardole?
We're ready.
Alit steps forward to the doctor, nods to the gun on his knees.
Is that a gun?
I don't like guns. I've had a better idea.
He puts the shotgun aside with great simility. He presents an apple to Alit.
Are you good at throwing?
Alit grins, takes the apple.
Better than all the boys.
Good. Get it done and get back fast as you can.
Don't worry.
Nardole and Alit heading off into the night, heading past the master and Missy, who have been observing sardonically. The master tosses the dematerialization circuit in his hand.
Listen, me and Sis are off now, but we did sort of wonder. What's your plan, Doctor?
Because whatever you've got, you can't save them.
There's another solar farm, 5 levels above us. If I can get all the kids up there and most of the adults.
Cyberman will find them again.
Not today.
Then they'll die tomorrow.
Or the day after. Or the day after that. Or maybe they'll only have a whole week or a whole month. Or maybe they'll have a plan of their own. Or someone else will come and save them. I don't know. It's the best I can do, so I'm doing it. Do you have a problem with that?
You can't win.
I know. And?
The master just stares at the doctor for a moment, shakes his head. What an idiot.
Come on, lady version. I don't know what you see in him.
Likewise.
On the doctor, watching them go, face like thunder.
No.
They keep going.
I said no! And when I say no to you, you turn back around.
And such is his force. They stop. They find themselves turning around, and the doctor is striding towards them.
I'm going to be dead in a few hours. So before I go, let's have it out. You and me. Once and for all. Because I don't think I've ever explained just how much I pity you. All those times I let you live. Didn't you ever understand why? It's pity. You live in my pity.
Master gives an involuntary laugh and is silenced by...
Winning? Is that what you think it's about? I'm not trying to win. I'm not doing this because I want to beat someone, or because I hate someone, or because I blame someone. It's not because it's fun, and God knows it's not because it's easy. It's not even because it works, because it hardly ever does. I do what I do because it's right, because it's decent, because above all, it's kind. Just that. Just kind. If I run away today, good people will die. If I stand and fight, some of them might live. Maybe not many, and maybe not for long, and maybe there's no point in any of this at all. But it's the best I can do, so I'm going to do it. And I'll stand here doing it till it kills me. You'll die too, Master. Someday. Have you thought about that? How it will be? Because I know you very well. And I think you'll be running. Running away, terrified, with bullet after bullet in your back. And when you're lying there in the mud, crying, screaming, begging, betraying, you know what you're going to think about? Me. You'll think about me standing.
On the master, almost as if he's listening. The doctor is approaching, quieter now.
Who I am is where I stand. And where I stand is where I fall.
He reaches out, places his hand on the master's shoulders.
Stand with me. These people are terrified. Maybe we can help a little. Why not? At the end, just be kind.
A moment, then the master throws off the doctor's hands.
See this face? Take a good long look. This is the face that didn't listen to a word you just said.
Big cherry smile. Off he strides. But as he clears frame, he leaves us with a shot of Missy standing a few feet behind them as she listened, affected, haunted, troubled. The doctor and Missy for a moment,
He knows he had an impact.
See? You've changed. I know you have. And I know what you're capable of. Stand with me. It's all I've ever wanted.
Me too. In a way.
The doctor extends his hand to Missy, as if to take hers. She reaches to take the doctor's hand, and then changes the movement to a little wave.
But sorry, no. Just no.
And she turns and strides off into the night.
But thanks for all the pity.
On the doctor almost smiles at that. And then he's gasping in pain, staggering, supporting himself with his walking cane. Hazran instantly at his side, caring for him.
You should still be in bed. You're not healed yet.
The doctor is looking at his hand on the stick. Again, the threatening glow of regeneration.
I'm not sure I want to heal this time.
He flexes his hand with the effort, suppresses it.
It's only pain. Pain's good. Helps me focus.
Cut to exterior grounds near house. Not far from the house, a high shot of troop of modern Cybermen marching towards the house, craning slowly down, bringing them into the foreground. An apple held by Alit, who is standing in front of them, blocking their paths.
Hello.
The Cybers stop, look down at Alit.
You will not be harmed. You will be upgraded. No thanks.
She throws the apple into the center of the Cybers. She runs for it. The Cybermen look in confusion at the apples amid them, just lying there. And boom, a huge explosion. All the Cybermen are thrown into the air in a mighty firestorm. Alit, watching this happen, smiling. Behind the trees, Nardole, tapping away at his laptop. We get a glimpse of the screen, a schematic of the surrounding countryside with a flashing area representing the explosion that just happened before he slams the laptop shut.
Alit, come on.
He grabs her hand and off they run. Cut to exterior forest. Mendacian Cyberman making their way through the forest, eerie like ghosts. As we pan with them, we discover Missy and the Master in the foreground hiding behind a tree. The Master is focused on the Cybers, but Missy is staring back through the forest. Missy's POV, the smoke and glow and Alex's explosion glimpsed through the trees.
Oh. What's he doing now?
Cut to interior kitchen. On the laptop as it's banged down on the kitchen table. Wider, Hazran is there, and Nardole is excited and joyful. Alit is grinning.
You see? Do you get it? This whole floor under the soil, it's fuel lines and fusion turbos. And if you happen to be a genius with insane computer skills, you can remote spark a critical failure and boom, boom. You weren't listening to a word of that, were you? Didn't listen the last 10 times either.
On Nardole, rabbit in headlights. Oh! Oh!
Incoming about 120 feet. On it. 3, 2, 1.
Holst fires at the same time. Same moment, Nardole slams a key on the keyboard. From outside, boom! On this noise, the doctor is coming through the door. Bill is following but stays in the doorway.
So, any second now, the Cybermen will decide we have significant weaponry.
Awesome weaponry.
Which means they'll change their campaign parameters. Up till now, this has been a mercy mission.
A what?
They want to upgrade you. That's why they're coming for your children. But now they think we're a military target. They'll fall back, regroup, and plan a much bigger assault.
No.
Yes, good. Because they'll stop tracking the children, which means...
They're moving back.
Time to go.
But we're surrounded.
I love being surrounded. It means everyone's looking at me. Hazran, let's get going.
Hazran nods, grabs Alit, heads to the door. She flinches at Bill. Hazran's POV. Bill is a Cyberman, but stills herself. The Cyberman steps politely out of the way. From the hallway, we hear her shouting up the stairs.
Right, then you lot, everybody down to the cellar.
The doctor looks at Nardole.
Nardole, I want you to lead the evacuation.
No.
There's another solar farm on floor 502. There should be plenty of livestock in the cryogene.
You need me with you.
He taps on the still open laptop. The doctor taps his sonic to the top of the screen. And like a genie effect on the map, all the on-screen data seems to suck up into the screwdriver.
Thanks for the software. I'll take it from here.
Sir, with respect, I'm worried about your plan.
Plan? What plan?
I think as soon as this place is evacuated, you're going to blow the whole floor, killing as many Cybermen as you can.
I'll only do it after I've left.
Liar, it can't be done remotely.
Well, you couldn't do it remotely.
Neither could you. And more to the point, you are not sending me up there to baby a lot of smelly humans.
No, I'm afraid that's exactly what I'm doing.
This is me we're talking about. Me. You know what I was like. If there's more than 3 people in a room, I start a black market. Send me with them. I'll be selling their own spaceship back to them once a week. Please, I'd rather stay down here and explode. You go up and farm the humans.
Listen, one of us has to stay here and blow up a lot of silly tin men. And one of us has to go up there and look after a lot of very scared people day after day for the rest of their lives and keep them safe. So the question is this, Nardole. Which of us is stronger?
An impasse between the doctor and Nardole. Nardole thinking it through. His shoulders sag.
Damn.
The doctor extends his hand and shakes Nardole's.
My condolences.
I'm going to name a town after you. A really rubbish one.
I'm counting on it.
Probably a pig.
Nardole turns to Bill.
Young lady, you're coming with me. No arguments. May I remind you, I am empowered to kick your arse.
Well, you probably have to go back down to that hospital and find it first.
No.
I'm staying with the doctor. My arse got kicked a long time ago. Hello? Metal. And there's no going back. And all I've got left is returning the favor.
Oh, great. She's allowed to explode.
You sure?
You know I am.
Nardole, floundering for a moment because this is it, the actual end. The anger is fading. Sadness is taking over.
I don't know what to say.
You'll think of the right words, later. But that's okay. Because so will we.
Yeah.
Nardole goes to the door, turns in the doorway, struggling to control the emotion.
Doctor, Phil, you're wrong, quite wrong. I will never be able to find the words.
And he strides from the room. The doctor and Bill look at each other. Well, this is it. Cut to interior cellar. A line of kids and adults waiting at the open hatch door. Beyond it, we see an expanse of darkened corridor. Nardole is clambered down into the cellar, heads straight over to the door.
Right, then everyone follow me. First right, second left, and straight on till morning.
Cut to exterior force clearing with the lift. The master and Missy. The master is using his laser screwdriver on the lift controls. The doors slide open. Strangely, Missy is looking back the way they came. Puzzled, almost regretful.
Come on then, hop in. Straight down, TARDIS.
Missy looks to him and smiles sadly.
Come here.
I'm sorry.
Come here, I said.
And extends her arms as if to hug him. The master, amused, he starts to approach.
Seriously. We're really going to do this?
I loved you. I loved being you, every second of it. Oh, the way you burn like a sun, like a whole screaming world on fire. I remember that feeling, and I always will.
She detaches from back, still smiling, but tears in her eyes.
And I will always miss it.
The master is staring back at her, a slightly distracted frown, like something is mildly bothering him.
That was really very nicely done.
Thank you.
He reached under his jacket. When he withdraws his hand, it is bloodied.
Good to know I haven't lost my touch.
Missy is calmly wiping clean with a very thin dagger.
You deserve the best.
Cut to interior duct tunnel. Nardole leading the way along. Alit is just behind him.
All right, back there. Hazran, keep them moving.
Cut to exterior country home. Bill and the doctor stand in the front of the house, ready. Then, doom, doom.
Oh, they love to advertise.
They turn, face each other. Last moments before the storm.
We have to keep them away from the house till everyone's clear.
They'll attack on both sides. I'll take the back, yeah? Dun dun.
Yeah.
She turns, starts heading round.
Bill,
She turns back.
this is it, I'm afraid. If there's anything we ought to be saying...
I can't think of anything. Can you?
No.
But hey, you know, usually all about women and kind of people my own age.
On the doctor. For a moment, his vanity is tweaked.
Yeah?
Good, I'm glad you knew that.
And she turns and marches away. The doctor laughs, cut out one last time. But as she watches her go, he sees a Cyberman walking away. Doom, doom. The doctor
Dun, dun.
composes himself. One last battle, and it's now.
Without hope, without witness, without reward.
He draws a sonic screwdriver, tosses it to his hand, and strides it to the dark. Doom, doom.
Dun dun.
Cut to exterior forest clearing with lift. Missy is helping her former self to the lift. He collapses to the floor.
Ugh. How long do I have?
Oh, I was precise. You'll be able to make it back to your TARDIS and take off. Maybe even have a cup of tea, though it might leak a little.
Then I regenerate into you.
Welcome to the sisterhood.
Missy. Seriously, why?
Oh, because he's right. It's time to stand with him. That's where we've always been going. And it's happening now, today. It's the time to stand with the doctor.
No. Never.
Missy turns, starts striding away. We hold on her face, full of new hope and joy as she strides to her new destiny.
Missy, I will never stand with the doctor.
Yes, you will, my dear.
And blam! Missy staggers, reels, clutches a tray for support. In pain and confusion, she looks back. The master has hauled himself up and is lowering his laser screwdriver. He just shot her in the back.
Don't bother trying to regenerate. You got the full blast.
Missy, what? What? She starts to slide down the tree, fading so fast.
You see, Missy, this is where we've always been going. This is our perfect ending. We shoot ourselves in the back.
And he starts to laugh. On Missy, weakening, dying, but she starts to laugh too. For a moment, the two of them dying, laughing. Then the master hits the lift control and slumps to the floor again as the door rolls shut. Cut to interior lift on the master as the lift descends away from us.
Always the women, Doctor. Always the women.
Cut to exterior, forest clearing with lift. On Missy, her last giggle. Come on, Missy, with your last. And she dies. We hold on her for a moment. Then we hear movement and pan up. Out of a large mound, Nardole is emerging through a concealed door, followed by a crocodile of kids and adults.
Right, to the list. Floor 502. Squeeze as many in as you can. We only get one trip. They'll take years to get back up here.
Distantly, we hear a boom. Cut to exterior forest. Boom, boom, boom. The doctor is striding through the trees, firing his screwdriver as Cybermen of all kinds advance, yelling like a madman.
Telos sealed you into your ice tombs.
Fires, boom, Cybermen go flying.
Voga, Canary Wharf, Planet 14.
Boom, boom, Cybermen through the fire-blasted air.
Every single time you lose, even on the moon.
And suddenly is caught, twisting and screaming in the terrible blast of energy. He staggers, but doesn't fall, looks round. A Mendacian Cyberman has fired its head unit at him, on the doctor, burned, dying, but is still upright.
Hello, I'm the doctor.
Doctors are not required.
The Cyberman blasts him again. The doctor twists, screams, but still doesn't fall. Faces the Cyberman.
I'm not a doctor. I'm the doctor.
The Cyberman is advancing for a better shot.
The original, you might say.
The Cyberman blasts again, and at last the doctor falls. Crashing to the mud, broken and silent. The Cyberman stomps on past his fallen body. On the doctor, again, his hands start to glow with regeneration energy, but it's flickering, guttering. The doctor stirs as if it's mildly irritated.
Oh, doctor, let it go. Time enough.
The glow stops, weakly, so weakly. He raises his screwdriver, sends out a signal, and boom! Wide shot of the whole countryside as it blooms into flame. Back on the doctor and his eye, in the eye of the firestorm, close on his dying eyes as he tries to focus. The doctor's POV, the doctor storms sky above. Firestorm.
Pity. No stars. I hoped there'd be stars.
Again, the doctor's point of view, as his vision dwindles to a dot and the world goes dead silent again. Blackness. Cut to exterior floor 502. Panning across identical countrysides to the other floor, glorious sunlit, beautiful, till we find Nardole standing at the pair of lift doors and so very sad.
They still might come. Your friends. No, I don't think so. What about the Cybermen? will take them a while to regroup and find us again. And then what? And then I suppose I'll think of something. Come on, let's go find the others.
As they go,
You know, yeah, I think she likes you.
on Nardole, he smiles at the idea.
She's only human.
Dissolved to exterior burnt forest. We are now painting around the devastation of the floor below. Swamp and mud and blasted trees. And through this hellish wilderness limps alone, Mundassian Cyberman, damaged, slow, barely alive. Cutting closer, we now see the Cyberman as Bill. She stops a moment, recovers, and sees something ahead. Oh God, no. The doctor, half burned, quite still. Wider, we see the Cyberman limping to the doctor's side, now standing over him. It stands over the doctor, puts back its head, lets out the most terrible cyber howl, echoing round the blasted forest. Closer on the cyber face, tears are streaming through the black mesh eyes and down the plastic flesh. Now more tears. No, not tears. Rain. Rain streaming down the cyber face. Looks around. Where's all the rain coming from? Then a rushing, gurgling sound. All right. And rising out of the ground a few feet in front of her is Heather, the water woman from episode 1. This effect should resemble how she rose out of the doctor's office floor. Now they're standing facing each other. Heather is in her flowing water form, like when she pursued them, and there is a star in her eye. She looks serene, surreal, out of place, and ghostly, this ruined landscape. Bill, human, now stumbling forward to greet her.
Heather? Heather?
She comes to a halt, feeling at herself, but she feels human now. She looks around. There's the Cyberman she was a moment ago. It stands frozen, inert, and now she just topples to the ground. She looks to Heather. What? Heather smiles, steps over to her, takes her hand, and kisses her. A long, proper kiss. When they part, does that feel dead to you?
Well, no.
You're like me now. It's just a different kind of living. Bill looks at her hands, flowing with water, like Heather did in episode 1.
How did you find me?
Heather smiles, wipes a tear from Bill's face. I left you my tears, remember? My tears aren't just tears, Bill. I know when you're crying them. Now, we have to go. This is no place for you now.
But the doctor, we can't just leave him there.
Heather, her hand still gripped to Bill's, smiles. The world is spinning round them again like it did in episode 1. Of course we can't. We're not going to. Cut to interior TARDIS. On the time rotor, it's active, panning past Heather at the controls to Bill kneeling by the doctor. They've laid to the rest on the console room floor. Heather is now in dry form.
I suppose this is the only place he'd rest in peace, if there's any place he'd do that.
Bill smiles sadly at the thought, looks to Heather.
How can you fly the TARDIS?
I'm a pilot. I can fly anything. Even you. Bill, feeling at herself, her old, familiar self.
So I'm like you now? I'm not human anymore?
On her hands momentarily running with water again. Do you want to be human again? I can make you human again. It's all just atoms. You can rearrange them any way you like. I can put you back home and you can make chips and live your life. Or you can come with me.
Where?
Everywhere. Bill, so tempted. It's up to you, Bill. But before you can make up your mind, She's gone to the TARDIS, now throws open on a dazzling starscape. Let me show you around. She's smiling at Bill, mischievous, a little seductive.
Got some time for tea?
If you want. Bill smiles, then looks to the doctor, lying there.
You know what, old man?
She goes to him.
You know what, old man? I'm never going to believe you're really dead because one day everyone's just going to need you too much. Till then, it's a big universe, but I hope I see you again.
She looks at him fondly for a moment, and heavily a tear drips from her eye, splashes on the doctor's forehead. She goes to wipe it away, pauses, considers, leaves it there.
Where there's tears, there's hope.
She goes to Heather, waiting for her to open the door.
I've been through a lot since the last time we met, so just one thing. I'll show you around.
Heather smiles. On their hands as they link. Now the doctor's face as we hear a whoosh and the slam of the doors. And then on the doctor's forehead, where the teardrop landed, a glow in the shape of a splash. Water now flowing from the glow. Something is happening. On the TARDIS monitor, a flashing glow like an alert. Now there's a wireframe schematic of the doctor's head revolving on the screen. The mark of the Tyrus flashing a different color. Alien DNA. Flashback from episode 1, the shot where Bill first goes running after the doctor, yelling,
Doctor!
And cutting fast round all the occasions where Bill shouted for the doctor. Doctor! 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 As if in response, the TARDIS burbles, beeps. Flashbacks. Now around the other companions, Clara, River, Vastra, Jenny, Amy, Rory, Donna, Rose, all overlapping, building to a cacophony, trying to wake him up. And now the doctor spasms, takes a big whooping gasp of air.
Some Tarans, perverting course of human history. I don't want to go. When the doctor was me. When the doctor was...
He sits bolt upright.
Me.
Blinking, confused, scrambling to his feet.
Who did that? Did you do that? I've been kick-started. Who kick-started me? I never asked for that.
The TARDIS lurches in flight. The doctor grabs onto the console. He looks at his hands.
Reset. I've been reset. It's starting. I'm regenerating.
He checks his body for injuries and realizes his hands are glowing with regeneration energy again.
No. No. No more.
With a supreme effort of will, he balls his fist and the glowing stops just as the engine roars and the TARDIS thuds to a landing.
Where have you taken me? If you're trying to make a point, I'm not listening. I've had enough. I don't want to change again. Never again. I can't keep being somebody else.
The doctor strides for the doors.
Wherever it is, I'm staying.
He slams out. Cut to exterior snowy landscape, snow, Antarctica, howling wind, snow blasting. The doctor on his knees outside the TARDIS. Then, so quietly.
No.
A sizzling sound through the howl of the wind. Now a golden glow from both his balled fist. Regeneration energy rising like steam. He raises his hand slightly.
No.
His face starts to glow, to shimmer in a heat haze. Now he throws his head back and screams into the camera.
No!
He rams his fist into the snow as if it were to cool them down.
I will not change!
Withdraws his fist from the snow. No glow now. And now another voice reaching him through the snow and wind. Sounds like an old man.
I will not change. I will not. No, the whole thing's ridiculous.
The doctor, squinting into the blast, a caped figure heading towards him.
Hello? Someone there?
Who's that?
I'm the doctor.
The doctor. Oh, no, I don't think so. No, dear me, no.
The figure stepping forward, and it's starting to become clear who this is.
Maybe a doctor, but I'm the doctor.
Ooh, another step forward, and we can see who it is. The first doctor, the Hartnell version, now played by David Bradley, stands there clutching his lapels, magnificent and unmistakable.
The original, you might say.
In titles.
We did it.